What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woo!
Woohoo! Yeah,
This week, it's happening maybe the first Marvel movie of the year. Is that right?
No.
I think so. The first movie,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't count
so.
Morbius, according to Tyrese, but...
Oh, boy. I guess Spider-Man was the end of last year, so yeah. How about that?
That's typical. They do the 2 releases a year typically, and beginning of summer, end of summer, basically.
Yeah, and I guess we probably got some. I don't know how many there are this year. Obviously, there's Thor. I feel like there might be Guardians 3 this year.
I don't believe so. We haven't seen anything about it.
They just wrapped filming it, like today, as of Wakanda Forever's supposed to be this year. But it probably
right.
So,
No,
the biggest
no way.
bomb of 2022. Right.
That's what they say.
Well, that'll be wrong because it'll be the biggest bomb of 2023.
Well, listen, that's
well.
going to be true for a lot of our predictions. So,
Yeah.
But that was supposed to be this year, and maybe still is. Who knows? We'll see.
hasn't been pushed back yet.
We got to talk about the one from this year, which is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But first, news. Guys, 2 newses, and DJ has the news. So let's hear yours, and then I'll do mine.
All right. I have some news. Some personal news.
Okay.
Very exciting
wow.
personal news.
Just
All
ate
right.
some Shake Shack.
I did. That's kind of part of it, maybe. I don't know. It might be slowing me down, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I went to see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Packed theater. Good crowd. Except, guys, something happened at this movie theater.
You
I
got
wanna get your
COVID.
guys' take on it. No.
You got the
Well,
witch.
we'll find out.
Oh, I swear, if you get COVID this week,
You
not allowed. Unacceptable. Anyway, go on.
All right, so, trailer's about wrapping up. Gentleman sits down next to me, and I hear a rustling. He's pulling stuff out of the bag. My man
jimmies?
pulls out McDonald's hamburger, fries, chicken, and he's got, like, a drink there. The guy's eating, like, a full McDonald's meal in
Hell
the seat
yes.
next to me. And I smell, like, the
Disgusting.
grease and everything. I'm like, oh, get out of here. In my opinion, unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Oh, but lobster roll is cool.
Also
I was in the
unacceptable.
back of the theater by myself. There wasn't anyone within a mile of me.
Yeah, but you brought the lobster roll into the theater not knowing that, right?
Well, no, because you reserve your seats and you have an
guess that's
idea
true.
about like
Yeah.
what the it's gonna look like.
That's a good point. So you're saying that this validates your opinion?
No, I'm saying what this person did is a crime.
No.
And do you guys think that he should be executed?
This
Yes.
man's a hero. He should be.
I think
Oh!
most people should probably be executed in general. That's my stance.
Oh boy,
McDonald's is a smell, man. Like it's a
it is.
Yeah.
It is a smell.
It's a funk.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't smelled McDonald's in a while, but at
I
least
think
you
it's
could smell,
unacceptable.
so that's a good sign.
I think anybody who pushes the boundaries of the Secret Compact should be lauded.
But, like, that's the other thing. Like, I don't know how this guy got, like, a full thing of McDonald's into the movie theater. I didn't really see, like, what he was wearing or anything, or if it truly just did not matter. But, yeah, I just kind of, that was
DJ.
another thing I found kind of curious. Yeah?
The Sacred Compact. If
Yeah.
you make any effort at all, they'll pretend they don't notice.
I mean, I guess he must have made an effort then. But, I just think what this guy did, might be considered a war crime. But, I was wondering if this was just going to be a case where it's like, oh, this is what you get, DJ, for bringing in the lobster. But I maintain that these are 2 very different things. You could bring in the lobster or tuna fish or whatever, or McDonald's for that matter, as long as you are not, like, sitting near anyone.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the sitting near anyone kind of matters, but I don't know. I feel like we need a 0 tolerance policy here in a lot of things in movie theaters, and I'm willing to lump this in with the talking and the phones and stuff as just etiquette of movie theaters as things we don't do.
And to your point, Nando, McDonald's is a smell.
It really
Like,
is.
it's absolutely a smell. Whereas, fucking lobster roll is not a smell.
Even like Wendy's not a smell. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is about McDonald's. It's the fries, I'm sure, but also the burgers. Also, I feel like burgers are a smell in a way that like a chicken sandwich probably wouldn't be as bad. I don't know why, but I think you are vindicated
Oh, thank you.
in hating this guy, not in getting your lobster roll. But yeah,
I guess I'll take it.
No, I'm giving you the thumbs down. This man should be
Wow.
our king.
I can't believe it.
Well, yeah.
I can't believe I'm getting the thumbs down from Diggins. Actually, I can totally believe it, but
That sounds right.
whatever.
Yeah. Other news this week. 2 newses, you guys. 2 big trailers.
Yeah.
First one, Obi-Wan Kenobi show. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Second one. I don't know. I got no thoughts. He looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He probably does stuff in it and stuff.
Look, the last Star Wars show was Book of Boba Fett, so, until they can guarantee me that there is not a single episode of Mandalorian in the Obi-Wan show, I'm withholding my judgment.
Yeah. Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because the Mandalorian episode was the best one of Boba Fett. So,
I mean, yeah, but then it shouldn't have been in the Book of Boba Fett. It should have been in The Mandalorian.
Like, I don't know. I guess, I mean, that is true, but also, you show me the good thing instead, I'll take that. I'll take a little bit of the detour to Fun Town. It's like if you're eating a bad meal and then they bring you a good meal for a little bit and then take it away and you have to finish the bad meal. It's like, I appreciate that minute of respite I had. Eating a
But then they should have
delicious
just
burger.
not made Book of Boba Fett. I just made season 2 of The Mandalorian that opens this way.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true.
Wouldn't that be really confusing, though? It was just like a whole, 5 episodes about Boba Fett, and then it was
not with the Book of Boba Fett episode.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have made that. And then this is something. I don't know. People are excited about this one. Why?
people like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
People like Ewan McGregor.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
People like the Inquisitors. Do people like them? How do you guys feel about Inquisitors?
I'm a huge fan. Is that the opinion I'm supposed to have?
Classic
Tell me what
Monty
the opinion I'm
Python
supposed to
sketch.
You don't know what they are, DJ? You know what they are.
No, I know. I know who they are. I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel about them.
I know. Some people are excited.
DJ can't have an opinion that wasn't given to him by someone else first.
Yeah, I don't have any original thoughts.
Well, the best thing about the Inquisitors is that the lightsabers are little helicopters, and they're fools and cowards if they
that
don't
is
use them as
cool.
little helicopters in this, but it probably won't. They'll probably just be spinny lightsabers.
I read an article that I'm sure was extreme clickbait that was video game character teased to be in Obi-Wan show. As if Cal Kestis is going to be in it.
Oh.
At least that's what, yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Again, very clickbaity.
It's like, at this point, any of them could be in any of the shows, and I would believe it. And also, I don't know when any of them are actually supposed to be alive or what the rules are. So, any of the shows could rewrite any of the other things that happened, and I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially with Darth Maul just popping up everywhere. But, you guys, second news, Avatar had a trailer. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I saw it before the movie we watched this week.
So,
Same.
I did not see it because I went to a screening that was just of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, of course. So both
La-di-da.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse. No, it's okay. It was filled with normal people too, and they were coughing up a storm. It was great. But the trailer was it hasn't come online yet, but it will in a couple days. I've seen a lot of people that are mad because it's about water and it says Avatar water, and some people thought that meant that it was an Avatar movie or something, but like the Airbender. Because isn't the first one called Avatar Season 1 The Book of Water or something?
The original Avatar show, yeah, there's the Book of... It starts with the Book of Water, then the Book of Earth, then the Book of Fire, I believe.
And what's this movie called?
I want to say The Shape of Water, but it's not that.
Ooh.
I think it's
Ooh.
The Way of the Water.
The Way of Water, okay. Yeah. What was the trailer like? What'd you guys get out of it?
It's awful. It's so bad.
What was it?
I mean,
what do
it
you
doesn't
see?
really convey a lot of information. It's just big blue people jumping around. Some of them have guns and doing action scenes.
Hey, Nando, you remember Jake Sully? Well, Jake Sully's back.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember Jake Sully, remember Neytiri, and then third character. I don't know.
Well, 2 of those
Flumbo.
3 are back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get excited.
If you had to guess from the trailer, what do you think this movie, what's the story, or what is it about? Did that come up at all?
There's... I could be wrong. I don't think a word of dialogue is spoken in the trailer.
No, there's one. There's one when Jake Sully tells his wife? Question mark? Neytiri.
His wife.
We're his wife. We're
Say,
gonna
Chewie, we're home.
yeah. No, he's like, we're gonna protect our stuff because our stuff is ours and we're cool. Something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do want to do that. They wanted to do that last time. Get how that went for them. Someone got stabbed and their tree monster god thing was killed.
Do you think it's gonna incorporate the lore of the Disney park?
I mean, it has to, right? Like, I feel like the Disney park has to be written. I think it was like it seems like it was very much written by James Cameron or whatever. Like, he has the Avatar show Bible, and that was used to create the park. So I feel like you will get some crossover. But, I mean, it doesn't have any of the water rides. Like, I guess it has the river cruise, but that's not this. So,
Yeah. Do you think the drumming animatronic will be a huge part of this movie?
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like part of the from what I understand about the park, I don't know if when it takes place, but it's like a colony where people and the Na'vi have like made peace.
Yes.
And since that didn't happen in the movie, I imagine it's a different, like, it's in the far future of Avatar, but I don't know.
I've never been. I'm not clear exactly. I know, yeah, it's basically like the Na'vi and the Earth government have reached an accord where people can come visit, and it's cool.
Well, like, the other thing, too, like, if you were to compare in, like, Disney World, Batu, which is, right, that's the place where, right, the Disney Galaxy's Edge is like that Batu planet. Like, that has more of, like, the, like, immersion of, like, Star Wars, like, history kind of baked into it, but there's not much of that there with, like, the Avatar
Especially
world.
if you go on famously worth the price galactic cruise.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even the Marvel one has like their lore is just whatever the new show is. The guys are there from the show or movie.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of how they keep current. So they just don't even care. But it's like,
Sure.
I don't know. It's almost like you just walk through your TV into whatever your TV is that day. Those guys are there. But yeah, with the Avatar ones, it's like there's a very deep, rich, confusing history that is not anywhere. Like, it's not like, I don't think there are books of Avatar that you can read to get yourself all ready for this. Maybe there's comics, but I doubt they're about this part of it. So, yeah, I don't know how anyone can know, like, what this is.
Well, Nando, they can know by watching Avatar 2, The Way of Water, out this December.
Yeah. What do you guys say? What was your experience like in the theater? Did people dig it?
It was a snooze fest. I honestly...
I don't recall there being a very big reaction beyond when it first started. People were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's about the reaction I feel like I would get out of me. But unfortunately, I didn't have it.
Well,
yeah,
then I think we can all agree then you had an objectively worse theater experience than me and DJ.
I'll tell
you're
you,
a bad person too.
I don't know. I don't want to say I had a worse theater experience, but I do think the way they do these screenings sometimes is a little bit of a disservice to the movie. So, like, background, and we'll, I guess, start talking about the movie now. Hannah and I went, and she knew nothing. Like, I asked her, like, what do you know? Who do you know is going to be in it?
She couldn't even feed herself?
She could, yeah. I tied her as I was tying her shoes. I was like, "What's the name? How many characters do you think are in?" And she's like, "That Strange, Wong," and then that's it. And I was like, "Oh, you don't know about the third person?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Okay, do you want to guess? Like, who else is in it, or like what shows or movies you may want to watch to just to get a sense for how much she could like what I could expect." And she was like, "No, I don't know." And I said, "Okay, great. You're gonna keep your head down when we're in the like movie theater like lobby, so you don't see any posters. Because I think this is a fun surprise. Like if you didn't know the Hulk was in Ragnarok, that's gonna be fun." And we get to the screening, and the screening on screen is just a big old poster for the movie. All the characters, a certain one front and center because she's basically the star of the movie. So yeah, I couldn't really keep that cat in the bag. Quite a bummer.
I can't believe Hannah had the appearance of America Chavez spoiled for her.
I know. It's everyone's favorite guy, America Chavez, who I think is fine. I like America Chavez enough from comics.
I've never read any comic with her. I know she is a comic character, but I don't really know much about her.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those movies where by the end, you're kind of where this character usually starts. Or like, I am more familiar with the more confident America Chavez. But also, I feel like, I don't know this for a fact, but the way I read that character in comics, she's like 18. And I believe this actress is like 15, so I do think we got just a younger... We'll get to it. But yeah, so couldn't avoid being a little bit spoiled by the poster. But hey, what are you gonna do?
I do feel like they were unusually secretive about this one. Like, they released very little.
Yeah, I think I even think I said something to her before everything started about a certain actor that was, had a line in one of the trailers, the first trailer, that I was pretty sure she had seen. And I guess she had kind of forgotten that he was in it, but they didn't put him in that much of the marketing, which was good of them. Very, very good choices. So we got to talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Heck yeah.
You guys, who's in charge of IMDb this week? Is it me?
I think it's you.
It's you.
I think I do good this week.
You do very good this week.
I think I do. And by do good, I mean like Superman does good. Let's see. Doctor Strange.
All right. What was that? Gay Perry?
All right. What'd you say?
You were quoting... Well, I mean, I guess that's a thing people say, but I most know that phrase from the movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, as spoken by Gay Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's something I've heard since childhood. I feel like that phrase...
Like a weirdly deep cut there, Diggins.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a good movie. And we will talk about this movie now. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You guys, I have the summary in front of me. As is tradition, what happens is every day, or not every day, every week, when a new batch of movies comes out, a person, an IMDb intern, goes into the basement and consults the I Am Darkhold B, a big evil book that tells them what the summary of each of the movies is, and then they put that on IMDb. Sometimes the book lies to them because it's fun for the book. Sometimes the book is close, and sometimes it doesn't seem like the book really knows what the movie is. But it's not like really lying. It's just kind of not super clear.
What they're doing is they're dreamwalking into other universes to see what those IMDb's wrote about the movie.
Oh, that would be smart.
But sometimes they accidentally go to a universe where the movie is different.
Well, then how would they... Who writes the movie summary then? Because if everybody does the dreamwalking, or is that just what's happening in our universe? Maybe that's just
what happens in our universe.
Yeah. So every week, one of us is the IMDb'sman, and we do the IMDb, B as in spelling bee, where the other two have to guess what the IMDb summary is. So I'm going to read it very quickly. Okay. And
Yeah, it's just like...
whatever you say, IMDb.
Oh, God.
This is a fun one. And then who goes first?
Diggins gets a pick.
What?
Okay.
No, I lost last week, so I get to pick. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Go wild.
In the latest installment of the MCU, Doctor Strange must protect new multiverse traveler America Chavez from a grave demonic threat. The two travel across the infinite multiverse to find a way to stop this new evil.
Okay, DJ?
All right. I think I'm going to go a bit more direct with it. So, Doctor Strange meets America Chavez, a young girl who has the capability of traveling between the multiverses. He must protect her from Scarlet Witch. Who
Spoilers.
I don't know, man.
Okay, I mean, maybe it spoils it. Maybe it spoils it. You never know.
I'm taking the swing.
Yeah. Continue.
Must protect her from Scarlet Witch, who is attempting to reunite with her lost children.
Okay. Neither of you were very close, so we're gonna do a tiebreaker that I decided. Okay. Well, maybe I don't want to do this tiebreaker.
Yeah, you
I
should just give it to me.
Fun. No, I thought about it. Like, I wish that was true.
We were both off with very different, our things are so different.
It sounded like it's a weird one.
It's a weird one. Here, I'll read it to you, and you guys will see how weird it is. So this is what it says on IMDb. Dr. Stephen Strange casts a forbidden spell that opens the doorway to the multiverse, including alternate versions of himself. whose threat to humanity is too great for the combined forces of Strange, Wong, and Wanda Maximoff. So, like, not even close.
No, that's not. No, Diggins and I both win because IMDb is wrong. Like,
yeah, IMDb
that's
is
not,
way off, but if
are
one
they
of
talking
you
about just the end of the movie? Like,
yeah,
what?
I mean, but not even the end. Like, it's so.
No,
it's
at
such a
no
weird
point
thing.
is that the movie.
Yeah, what is the forbidden spell that he casts? Like
the
so,
Darkholds at the end.
At the
Spoilers.
end, yeah, I guess. But so I was looking for one of you. Here's what I would have taken that would have won it for one of you would have been Dr. Stephen Strange. You both called him Dr. Strange.
Yeah, you're right.
Neither of you mentioned Wong.
That's true,
What's the other thing?
I didn't think
alternate
IMDb would
versions
care
of
about
Doctor
Wong.
Strange. Yeah, no, none of those. Here's what we're gonna do. This is going to be a like jump ball situation.
What?
Yeah, I think that's more fair for these.
Can we do a money ball instead?
Ooh, Moneyball. Yes,
Ooh, let's
Moneyball.
do a Big Short. So we're gonna do a Big Short. Everybody get in your bathtubs. So jump ball. I'm going to give you a thing that I want you to tell me. Whoever tells me first wins. Obviously.
We just shout it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not turns?
no turns. That's what jump ball.
He wants a jump ball, which I'm
I
like,
want it to be
all right.
whoever has it first. If either of you have it, you say it, and if not, we'll try something else. But I think this is fair.
Okay.
So the first 6 actors listed on IMDb are Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong. I haven't learned how to say her name yet.
Socio
Waddle?
Gomez.
Social Gomez, America Chavez is got actor, and Rachel McAdams. Who give me the name of the person that plays the role or the role itself is number 7.
John Krasinski, Patrick Stewart,
No,
Anson
no,
Mount.
no. He can't just say all of them. No, I'm calling foul ball. This is.
I
Like,
thought
if
that's
it's a
what jump ball was.
Well, no, if it's jump ball, you get it, but then like you get one guess at your jump ball.
You guys
Okay.
said no turns.
Okay.
That's not how a jump ball works. Like
I
you
don't
say
watch
you're
your
one, and then
dang sports. You tell me no turns. I think that
I
means
don't
we
know.
shout until one of us is
I'm gonna
right.
say Dickens' thing is fine. I think the way Dickens did it is fine. I'll tell
just
you.
shout actors.
Yeah, it's none of them.
Haley Atwell.
This is garbage. It's just saying all the names of the actors in the movie. That
DJ, try to say some names of actors in the movie then.
Yeah, maybe
Michael
try to win the game.
Smith, Patrick Stewart.
I said that already.
Well,
Oh,
good
God.
for you. It's all nonsense shouting.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, what are the boys' names? The little boys, Tommy and Billy.
Yeah, no, it's not them either.
Is it the guy who's mad because Doctor Strange killed his cats and brother or husband?
Oh,
or
Michael
whatever?
Stuhlbarg.
Yeah, it's Michael Stuhlbarg as Dr. Nicodemus West.
That's a double effort. That's a double effort. I said the guy, and then
Yeah,
Dickens
but
got
I knew
it.
his
It's a double
name.
effort.
I knew
No,
his
I'm
name.
not. No, I'm
The
not.
game was knowing the name. The name was the name. The name was the game. The game was the
I don't accept
name.
these results. I will take this to the Supreme Court.
I have to say, it is Diggins's. Diggins said the name. If you had said the name, DJ, that would have been it. But
I don't accept these results. I mean that's a group effort. Where we would have been here all day. I
here's
will
the thing,
refuse to
DJ.
accept.
I would say
Count the vote or stop the count.
We're gonna count the votes.
Continue to count. Whichever gets it my way.
I figured you would have the advantage here because you just saw it, and for an insane reason, he gets a with title, a full title
That's
card in
true.
this movie.
He does get a with title, which is bananas.
Yeah, insane for his weird little role with his horrible wig. So the fact that you got,
I want a golden ball scenario. I want to for all the marbles. How's this? Here, ready? I'll make it worth it. I'll make it worth your while. Ready? How's this? First time ever. If you give me a golden ball, and if I lose, I'll take a double loss.
Oh, Diggins.
What does that even mean?
It means Nando would automatically win the following week.
Oh no, that's no fun. It's more of a question.
Or Diggins gets the next two. That. Like Diggins gets
like
this
that
one and
either.
the next one.
But Diggins, do you want to take DJ's double loss? His potential double loss. Is that fun for you?
Like a double or nothing. I'm giving a double or nothing opportunity. First time ever in the history of our show.
I think DJ's offering a terrible prize, but in the interests of the listeners, I will accept a double or nothing.
Okay, great. I am looking at the trivia right now. I'm going to find some fun trivia.
I want it known. I want it on the record how much of a gentleman I am, unlike DJ, who bets over or under $1 on guessing games all the time.
I would like to say, Diggins, I think that you just believe in democracy. That's what I think this,
I'm the Democrats of this podcast. I take offers that would never be extended the other way.
And also aren't very beneficial to you. Like,
yeah.
it's
Just because it's fair.
I was maybe people would like us if we agreed to do this.
Yeah, it's I do want to say we should probably put a little spoiler warning in the beginning of that game, just because Dickens says all the names of the guys, which is why I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. But then I was like, nah, it's too weird of a trivia fact.
We should probably put a spoiler warning tag in the show, and also maybe at the beginning of the show, like, hey, this episode has heavy spoilers.
Hey, man, I don't care. It's fine.
Someone will hear the name Anson Mount and know right away who's in that scene.
Yeah, for real. Okay, I think I have one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at one more thing. I just want to see the last trivia fact here to see if one of them is fun. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't like that one either. I don't like this one. I don't like this one.
He hates every trivia fact available.
I don't like this one.
Well, none of them are fun facts. They're all extremely unfun facts.
If there is no way to have this, I will concede ungracefully to Diggins if it must.
It should be what are the post credit scenes, since DJ never watches those.
That's a good point.
No, I think I have one. Okay.
Name the actor of Pizza Ball Guy. If you can name that, Diggins, I'll give it to you.
Well,
you can
name
Pizza Ball Guy.
Can do that.
Of course I can. Can you not?
I can. Who is it?
Well, that's
Bruce
not
Campbell.
what I'm doing. But
it's Bruce Campbell? Oh, Diggins wins.
No.
I didn't know that was Bruce Campbell.
That's
Bruce Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is that like a big deal? Like,
he's in all of Sam Raimi's movies.
Oh my god. I'm sad. Diggins wins. I didn't know that was Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
No. Here's the question.
I love it. It's like we're too far deep now.
This is the one I figured. Okay, you guys. And this is
If
another...
I end up losing at this point, this is some real bullshit.
This is another jump ball, okay?
Oh, come on.
You only get one... Well, not you only get one guess. I think this will take one guess.
I feel like it's a Family Feud thing, like that you're kind of thinking of. It's like... Well, it's a buzz, and you get to give your answer.
Okay, yeah, it's that. It's a Family Feud. Okay, so you both can say it, but you have one answer, okay?
Yeah.
But, so there's an advantage going first, but also maybe a risk. Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was directed by Sam Raimi. It was his first directed feature film in 9 years since what?
Oh, gosh, I do know this. Fuck.
Spider-Man 3?
Nope.
No, it's not that. He did something more recently than that.
Diggins will get it if he gets it right then.
God, I know this. I read it just the other day. What was it called? This is going to kill me.
Any details about this movie, I feel like...
It's not... This is not my guess. It is not Drag Me to Hell.
It is not Drag Me to Hell. That's correct.
He did something after that, but what was it? God damn it. This is killing me.
The trivia has broken Diggins.
It's something, like, kind of weird that you wouldn't expect to be a Sam Raimi movie. Remember that?
Perhaps.
I can't remember it.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yes! That's what it was. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a tie, so Diggins regular wins. I don't take a double loss.
Okay.
It's fine. That was, again, a bad prize anyway.
So, a double loss, I would take a double loss for sure. I think a double loss against DJ is the prize everyone wants.
Yeah, right. Me losing double.
But yeah. So there you go, Diggins. You win by knowing Michael Stuhlbarg and also Stuhlbarg.
More importantly, Bruce Campbell, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm shocked you didn't know the Bruce Campbell one. Did you?
Yeah,
not know
that's
shocked.
Crazy.
Yeah. Do you not recognize him from stuff?
I just didn't connect the dots.
But like. So, have you seen him in other things like that actor?
Did you know that was like a cameo? Like, why did you pick that out of the hat of, if you know this guy, you win?
Yeah, like, I figured it was, like, someone who wasn't just, like, an obscure extra, but, like, was probably someone, like, like, deep theater nerd people, like, would know. Like, that was my theory.
I feel like anyone who's familiar with Sam Raimi's work at all would have known that.
But you know who
No.
Bruce Campbell is, right, DJ?
I am aware of Bruce Campbell. Yes.
Okay. It's the hat that threw you. His little porcupine newsy hat, I think, was what he was wearing. Everybody was wearing little hats.
I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah, man.
Well, he wasn't.
Was in like the 80s.
He became old over time, you know? That's what happens. DJ was just watching Evil Dead, and he was like, this guy's not old. What's happening here?
I will say, he does
Yeah.
look older in this than he even did in, what was it? The show, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Burn Notice. Yeah, I think for Ash vs. Evil Dead, they just blacked his hair up a lot to make him look.
That's true.
And then this, they just didn't do that. But, I mean, I guess you know what else makes him look older? He's just a guy. He always has to be cool and stuff and, like, look cool and has, like, a cool outfit. And this is just a guy and it makes him look more normal. Well,
to be fair, Bruce Campbell roles are usually him being cool in a way that's really lame on purpose.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But anyway, Diggins, you won. Congratulations.
Congrats, Diggins.
I did win. It's true.
So you get to go first. Talk about this movie where Wanda, Doctor Strange, and Wong teamed up to fight an ancient evil or whatever the IMDb summary said.
Should I talk about that movie instead of the one we watched?
Talk about the evil spell that Doctor Strange casts in the beginning of the movie that sets this whole thing off, you know? Definitely want to start there.
One could say that there was Doctor Strange casting an evil spell at the start of this movie.
Like, was it an evil spell, though? Or like a forbidden spell? I don't think
I wouldn't say it was forbidden. I think it would have had an evil effect.
Perhaps. But yeah, Diggins, what do you think of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
More like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Badness.
Yeah, get
More
destroyed.
Like Diggins in the Multiverse of
No, actually, that's not true. I just wanted to say it. I don't actually like this movie, though.
Oh, okay.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Again, I'm being flippant. My feelings are complicated. There are a lot of ways in which I do like this movie. I love all the Sam Raimi visual flair to it. I love when he just basically starts making an Evil Dead movie halfway through for a little bit. I love that there's a Deadite in this movie. I love that I feel like they're a lot more inventive with the fact that he does magic in this movie than they have been in any other movie where Doctor Strange shows up, which I appreciate. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff like that. There's also a lot of stuff I didn't care for. I feel like the story of this one is really muddled, especially like the theme and metaphor of it is just like they say something at the start and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then we get about halfway to 2/3 through and I'm like, what? So hold on. If that means that, then like, what is this thematically? What's happening here? And then we get to the end and I'm like, well, this really has nothing to do with that at all. And it's just, it feels very messy in that way. In the way that Marvel movies often are about this kind of thing. I think what happens with Wanda in this movie totally works for this movie and is kind of weird in the greater MCU context because she's basically doing the same arc she did in WandaVision again. Like she learned nothing. And I'm like, okay, there's the Darkhold or whatever, but like, why are we doing this again? And yeah, it's and the middle part about is just the most like everyone's sitting around and talking about stuff I don't care about while not advancing anything I do care about at all. It's just there's a lot of problems. I like it. I like a lot of things about it. I'm really glad Sam Raimi directed it. I think that was a huge favorite of the movie. I love the kind of like really pushing the boundaries of PG-13 kind of gore and violence he manages to sneak in. I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, so like I don't want to just be like Multiverse of Madness, like I hate this movie, because I don't. There's a lot of things to like about it, but it's also just very messy and I think could have been a lot better than it is.
Interesting. DJ, what about you?
I mostly agree with Diggins. I think like probably the main part that I differ with Diggins is I agree with all of Diggins' points, but I did like this movie, but I don't like it as like a movie in terms of it had a plot and characters and like all that stuff. I think this movie had a lot of like Nando, Diggins, you were talking about like the kind of Sam Raimi like visual effects where I'm like, ooh, shiny, because I kind of like that stuff. I think it's a little kitschy, but I like his version of kitschy. Like there's something about like it's ridiculous that Doctor Strange is at a wedding and then like jumps off a balcony to fight Shumagora, but I'm like, that's cool.
Excuse you, DJ, that's Gargantos, a name we don't have to pay someone else to use.
Oh, wait, is it like, that wasn't?
So, it obviously is Shumagorath, but Marvel claims it's really Gargantos, an obscure Namor villain, because they don't have to pay anybody to use that name, and they do have to pay to use Shumagorath.
Yeah, I thought about it too, and the role that this character plays in the movie, it would be really... Like, I don't know, Shumagorath is a big deal. Like, he is, like a chaos god, so I don't think he'd be like a jobber for Doctor Strange to beat up in Act 1. So I think it almost fits better with that guy, but yeah, he would appear to be Shumagorath. Remember in the fucking What If show where there kept being tentacles and everyone kept being like, oh, that's Shumagorath, and then they just never did anything with that?
Yeah.
That was fun. Remember that show?
It's because, whoa, man, the show... that makes Ruby look like a show with good facial animation.
Get deleted.
Oh, Diggins. Oh, Diggins.
Listen, I'm not complaining about any other aspect of the animation in What If, but when I see a human being talk in that movie, I want to gouge my eyes out.
Wow.
Or not movie, in that show.
Well,
but the role in the movie doesn't really fit Shumagorath, but visually they very clearly just made Shumagorath and gave him a different name.
To the untrained eye as myself, right? So anyway, but I for the most part liked a lot of the bits, but yeah, like it's weird. I don't think this was a movie as much as a piece of like MCU like extra credit. It's weird. Like, I was having this conversation with Michelle. This might be like a broader conversation for later. But like, we're getting to a point with these movies where you can't just sit down and like watch the movie. There's all this like homework and stuff, and right, like, oh, there's like WandaVision. Like, I'm wondering if like the TV shows are going to start like muddling some of this stuff. Like, to DC's weird credit, because like they don't care about their like continuity, they could just be like, here's the Batman, you don't need to know it anything except like you kind of get the Batman, right, here you go. But I even feel with like, I mean, maybe not like Black Panther, but maybe Black Panther and like, you know, Thor Love and Thunder, it's like, as good as these movies like might be, how can they be self-contained movies with like a plot and like character growth and stuff that maybe we haven't seen before, like in WandaVision? So I felt like very confused in that, like not confused, but like I just feel torn on that aspect on like what it means for the future of these movies. But like this movie showed enough like flashing images and oh, that's fun for me to be like, yeah, I liked it. I don't know if I thought it was good, but I as a viewer liked it. But I'm a pretty specific like target audience member, and so I can understand people being like, didn't really like it.
Interesting.
About you,
top 5 MCU movie for me. I loved it.
Wow.
I had a blast. Wow. Yeah.
So wait, that mean okay? Can you give me? I don't mean to interrupt, but I feel like it's a very salient point.
Oh,
and as a matter of fact, I do mean to interrupt.
Damn it!
Can you give me 3 to 5? I don't know if I was asking too much. Movies that you think are worse than that. Not like worse, but like if you're ranking them like 6 or below.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could easily name 5 MCU movies I think are worse than this one.
Bad question. Let me rephrase. Movies you think this is just better than. So like, I guess I'm asking for your like 6 to 8, like numbers like 6 to 8.
Well, okay.
I'm just trying to get a sense.
6 to 8. All right. So I'll say my top 5 are probably like Infinity War, Guardians 1, Avengers 1, Civil War, and probably something I'm forgetting that I really like. Maybe this.
Sure.
I don't know. Just beneath that, probably Endgame. Black Panther 1, Guardians 2. God, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at remembering what these movies. Iron Man 2, Iron Man 1, like those guys. I feel like there's a couple of very good ones that I'm forgetting. Are we counting Spider-Man?
Like Ragnarok?
Spider-Man 1, Ragnarok. Yeah, those ones.
You think like this is better than Ragnarok?
I think it's about... yeah, I do. I think this is...
Interesting.
I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Ragnarok.
Okay.
I think part of it is I enjoy...
Yeah.
I think, for me... not to hate on Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok does some fun things and interesting things, but I just... Sometimes that comedy just doesn't work for me. And I feel like the comedy here was great. But even beyond that, I feel like I don't know, I just feel like this movie was fun. I liked it. I liked all the stuff they did. And I I mean, it's just visually the most interesting one of these that they've made. So that helped it get into the top 5 pretty easily. And then B, I liked all these characters. I think the Wanda thing worked for me, mostly because I think WandaVision, even though the text of WandaVision, like as the show is presented, does show her growing and like accepting it, I still feel like the show if you take out that bit in the 9th episode where they really let her off the hook there, I think this is pretty consistent with where she as a character would be, especially without Vision, and anyone really left to like be a good influence on her. I thought all the cameos were cool. I thought those were integrated well into the movie in a fun multiverse way. And yeah, I thought the magic was good. And I like Benedict Cumberbatch in it. I liked, and having watched Doctor Strange 1 this week as well to kind of get because Hannah had not seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're comparing this to one of the worst Marvel movies, then yeah, of course it would look like roses.
Nah, I think that one's right in the middle for me. Like watching it again, honestly, I'm like, this was fine. It was good.
That's a movie I dislike because it's so mid.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. It's one of the ones that, like, if someone's like, I haven't seen this, should I watch it? And if not for this, I'd be like, if you have time, I guess. But I wouldn't say it's gonna blow your mind. But yeah. So watching that, I feel like the movies were almost ready to commit. And I think they committed a little bit to Doctor Strange being a big jerk who is a jerk. And in this, I think since Infinity War and Thor Ragnarok and Spider-Man, we've gotten this great development to this very jerky Doctor Strange who, has to think about the fate of the entire universe all the time and doesn't give a shit about some smaller things. So I think this character arc for him is very fun. And I don't know, I just really liked it. I liked all the characters. I liked America Chavez enough. I feel like she wasn't in it as much as I kind of expected. I like that they got Rachel McAdams managed to be in it more than I expected she would.
Right.
That was fun.
What do you think the dump truck full of money was that they showed up outside her door with to get her to come back? Because she really seemed like she didn't want to in like interviews and stuff leading up to this.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time with actors like this, A, the money is big, but then B, I feel like because I feel like we got the same thing with Natalie Portman after the first 2 Thor movies, where she was like, I think I'm done with these. And then Taika Waititi did a good one with Ragnarok, and then they were like, you know what, these are good now. All right, I'll do these. I think the same thing is true of Sam Raimi. I feel like Rachel McAdams is just like, oh, this will be cool, so I'll do that. But it's hard to say.
Think I especially sympathize with high-profile female actors who don't want to come back for these when they play the girlfriend who does nothing for a couple movies. And they're like, I don't want to do that again. This is boring for me.
Well, yeah, and after 5 movies, you get to put on your Iron Man suit for 5 minutes and whatever. I think her character,
be Thor, right?
That's true. I think her character in the first one was okay. I actually liked her character in the first one, and I liked the role she played, but it was kind of limited in the sense that she wasn't Doctor Strange, and she couldn't do magic, so she didn't really have a huge reason to be in most of the movie. But I think what she brought to this movie and how she showed up, and I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. Yeah, best Marvel movie. I thought the music was fine. I kind of missed the Doctor Strange theme.
Doctor Strange theme's in there.
It's not. Danny
Elfman uses it in the pieces he makes, but he did not get rid of it.
It's very, I don't know. I feel like the thing I remember
also,
the most
if you put a gun to my head, I could not remember a single piece of music in any Marvel movie, so
liar, you remember it. You remember all of it. I don't know. There's some of it that I remember pretty well. Is there? Yeah, there is.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that Danny Elfman score starts like swelling, and you're like, oh. Also, good for him or whoever his music producers were that like squeezed in other like iconic themes into this movie. Little bit of WandaVision, WandaVision.
That's true. They did that.
A little bit of right, a little bit of X-Men in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I like Danny Elfman enough, but I think I preferred Michael Giacchino's score for Doctor Strange, and then it had this like you know what it was about the Doctor Strange theme, the first one? It had like a harpsichord, I think was what was kind of playing the thing. It's hard to describe, but it was like dun 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 dun. Dun. It kind of sounded like Harry Potter actually. But anyway, that's what magic sounds like. We all know it. Yeah, I don't know. The movie's cool. What do you guys think about it? I don't know. You want to get into some spoilers besides all the names of all the actors in it that we already said? What'd you guys think of that Spellman Doctor Strange cast in the beginning of the movie that starts the whole thing?
It is basically impossible to talk about this movie without spoiling it because they didn't tell you the first thing about the plot in the lead up to it.
Yeah,
it's true.
Even for me, someone who watched all the trailers and kind of heard some rumors about people that were in it, which some were true and some weren't.
I know, right?
I had a guess at what some of the plot details were, and I think I got a couple of them, but there were a lot of others that I just I did not place. So yeah, they were pretty tight, and it's making a stupid amount of money, so the experiment works. And I'd like that. I want them to keep doing that. Not like make money, but just don't do trailers with all the stuff in them.
Yeah.
It's good. Leave this stuff for the pirates who pirate the movie, and then put it in YouTube chunks of 30-second clips that spoil it in the thumbnail. That's what it's for.
Like God intended.
Yeah. Yeah, what'd you think of the opening? The bit with who is known as Defender Strange, I believe, which makes sense because it's kind of his outfit when he was in the Defenders. His ponytail.
I would say the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie, I was way in. I really liked the opening of this movie.
Yeah, it was cool.
What about the beginning? Like, were you more into?
I felt like it was setting up a lot of interesting dynamics that I was like, yeah, these are good setups. I'm happy. I'm really excited to see the payoffs later. Let's take that sentence, listeners, and that's a surprise tool that we'll be using later.
Give me some setups. What were some setups that you...
I love the setup of... So it opens with America Chavez and Defender Strange running through the space between the universes, which we won't actually learn that's what it is until later, but who cares? Running away from weird demon energy monster. And we set up this dynamic where Strange can't defeat weird demon energy monsters, so he's like, I'm sorry, America Chavez, I have to kill you and take your power. It's the only way to stop the bad thing from happening. And she's clearly very hurt and betrayed, but then the demon breaks free and kills him, and so she escapes into another universe. So it's like, an interesting character dynamic where she might be very wary about any other Doctor Strange's motives and intentions. This is a good thing to establish right away. I like it when characters in a movie don't like each other, and by the end of the movie, they like each other. If you do that well, that's like the basic bread and butter characters in a movie thing.
Yeah, that was good. I like that Doctor Strange was bad, but not bad.
I like that he had a
like
really ugly ponytail.
Loved the ponytail. I think all the costumes in this movie were pretty interesting. Some worked for me better than others, but overall, I like the small changes they made to Doctor Strange's outfit. Loved Wong in this.
Yeah.
I think
Wong is the unsung hero of the MCU.
He really is.
He's like going to be the main character soon because he's been in so many movies and so many things. It seems like he's the guy, it's my guess, Benedict Wong is the guy that will show up for whatever. Like,
yeah.
They might not be able to get Benedict Cumberbatch, but like you want somebody to show up in Miss Marvel to like wave at her on the subway, Benedict Wong will get there, and then that'll be the cameo. I'm surprised he wasn't in Moon Knight.
You want someone to sing karaoke with Shang-Chi and Katie? He's there.
Exactly. Yeah. And
to be fair, he is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. I guess and he still is, but what does that mean?
It's like the cool role or whatever that you get for being the best sorcerer man and not getting poofed for 5 years during
it means that when you go do the big wizard fight that determines who is Sorcerer Supreme, when Dr. Doom comes in second, you have to help him save his mom's soul from hell.
Yeah, in these movies, it's like Doctor Strange is like, I'm not the Sorcerer Supreme, it's Wong. And then Doctor Strange is still the main character of the movie and still does all the important stuff. As if everyone kind of recognizes that, Doctor Strange is the real manager. He's the secret president. He's the Dick Cheney of the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it comes to sorcerers. And Wong is merely a figurehead.
Did he control the Sorcerer Supreme selection process? That
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Or I guess he would be controlling the Vice Sorcerer Supreme selection process that ends up with him being the choice.
It's not too far from what happens in those movies, you know? He, like, shows up and then kind of stumbles into the role of being Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, everyone knows when a white man shows up and doesn't know how to do anything, he will instantly become the best at it in a few days.
Yeah. Or years. Who knows how long that movie takes? Impossible to say. He's a photographic memory. That's his real superpower.
Speaking of things that who can say when and how they happened, apparently before this movie he had some fights with Baron Mordo.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, okay, so
I thought that was referring to what happened in Doctor Strange 1.
But
just like in the end of it.
The only thing that happens with Baron Mordo is in the end credits. Yeah, the post-credits scene that never comes up again.
Well, in the very end of the movie, Mordo's like, I am not helping you anymore, Doctor Strange. And then he kills Pangborn or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I was
Pangborn.
I know, I was bummed there was no Pangborn cameo. In like a, oh my god,
another
imagine.
Universe.
Yeah, in a universe, so you walk by like Madison Square Garden and he's in a Knicks jersey, like dunking a ball on a poster, and it's like fucking Pangborn. Everybody loves him for basketball stuff.
I wish they had shown up to the universe they go to in this movie, and Sorcerer Supreme was Pangborn.
Oh my god, yeah, that would have been great.
Yes.
That would have been so great. And then it turns out that Baron Mordo was like faking it or something, or like, yeah, that'd be funny.
By the way, speaking of, just real quick on the snap consequences about like that's how Wong got Sorcerer Supreme. I just gotta say this: MCU movies, we get it. The snap was bad. Everyone lost a thing or whatever. Someone lost cats. Someone lost a husband. Like it's all sad. We get it. The snap was bad. All right. We don't need every time there's a movie. It's like, by the way, do you remember the snap?
Well,
it
DJ,
was so bad.
I at first liked that one. This is another thing I liked about the setup of this movie. Where you have the person who gave Thanos the time stone and was like, Thanos gets to win, and that's how we win in the end. Someone be like, yeah, that really sucked for a lot of people, did you think about that at all? And I like that, where he's kind of forced to deal with the consequences of his decision. Even if you ultimately think it was the right one, you still have someone being like, yeah, you really fucked a lot of people over when you did that. Maybe you're right. Maybe that was the only way to win, but we only have your word to go by on that.
Yeah.
But also, how did everyone know that? But, like, how did everyone know that? Like, by the way, the reason Thanos won was because Doctor Strange gave him the time stone.
That was funny. There's like, does everyone just know that Doctor Strange did that? Why does everyone, want to take pictures with him on the street? I feel like there'd be way more people mad at him about this.
J. Jonah Jameson would be freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange gave the time stone to Thanos!
Maybe the snap gave him the opportunity to, take over, the Daily Bugle or maybe all the Newsmax people got snapped and then their audiences went to the Daily Bugle so that he actually really likes it. And anyway, yeah, if J. Jonah Jameson was involved, he would be mad that they killed Thanos. He would be like, their hero was trying to save, Purple Man was trying to save the universe with Mysterio. I think
Purple Man.
The Purple Man.
Oh man.
Don't worry, he doesn't count.
Well, hold on. Are those shows canon anymore? Is he dead?
No, they keep changing it on the website. No one knows. There's some sort of wiki article that originally seemed to suggest they were, and then they changed it a couple days later. So who knows? But
love that.
Yeah, the idea that I like that idea that the snap is upsetting, and I like it with. I think it's worth bringing up for Strange specifically because of how clearly he was the one who set all the plan in motion and couldn't he didn't tell anybody else, didn't let anybody else make the decision. So yeah, I think it was fine, and I loved seeing Michael Stuhlbarg in that awful wig.
Yeah. I love seeing the 7th most important character in this movie.
Yeah. I was waiting. I really was, because he was on the poster. I was waiting for him to be the secret villain. It didn't make sense.
That would have been amazing.
Well, in the comics, that character is the villain of the best Doctor Strange comic, and he yeah. After he doesn't fix Doctor Strange's hands in surgery very well because he's not as good, he goes to Kamar-Taj and learns magic as well, and then does some stuff. And yeah, so it's fine. He was cool, and yeah, Christine's getting married. Very sad for Doctor Strange, but also, what is their relationship even, Yeah,
I mean, they weren't were they together at the end of the first movie?
No, definitely not.
No, he wasn't allowed. because
he's a Jedi, yeah.
Garbage.
And then he disappeared for 5 years. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable that she's moved on.
Well, I think the only reason for me it becomes a little confusing is because of that stupid What If show, how they had the whole season of him being in love with her so much because they were like the perfect couple. Yeah, like, and I don't even know if that show committed to it, like them being in love as much, because you could kind of, I could see a version of that where it's just like, yeah, he's just sad that she is dead because she is this very good friend. But I don't know. It seemed like they were like 50-50 on whether those two characters were in love or not the whole time.
It's never been the case before that a man is convinced his relationship with a woman is much more meaningful than she thinks it is.
Well, I did like that about it too. Yeah, I like that he's like kind of a dick about that in the beginning of the movie and then seems to get over it in the end. Like, I think that was a good arc for him, because I was kind of, after watching the first one again, I was like, why didn't we ever sort that out? That seemed interesting. It seemed like somewhere to go, but they just kind of left it. Do we know if she got... I guess she did not get snapped.
I would think not.
Yeah.
And that's where this relationship happened, that she is now getting married.
That makes sense. And he goes to her wedding and gets drunk and tells her that he's actually in love with her. Loved that. Like,
did he get drunk?
I don't know. But
he wasn't drunk, and he doesn't quite say... I mean, he kind of implies it, but he's very much like, I'm happy for you, and, you know... I'm sorry things didn't work out.
Is he, though?
He's like, I'm sorry things didn't work out between us, but, you know... He is like... He's not being a mess.
I feel like if you go to a wedding and you're the ex-boyfriend of the wedding-ee, like the husband or wife or whatever, you probably don't bring that relationship up during the wedding. And
fair.
He was at least... He had a martini. I don't know how many martinis Stevie was, but... I don't know. I like the idea that the Marvel characters get drunk sometimes. I think that's fun. And
that they're just hot messes.
Or just that they're, you know, people. Like, you go to a wedding and it's like, Doctor Strange isn't like, oh, I always have to be Batman at all times so I can never drink and never have fun. He's like, well, I mean, it's not a Doctor Strange thing right now. So, yeah, I'll slam down a couple martinis.
No, clock,
enjoy myself, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be rude if I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then the wedding is interrupted by what, you guys? Who to our wandering eye does appear? Ooh.
Hold on. Disney's lawyers just handed me a paper. Gargantos,
the villain of the movie, as far as the fucking IMDb summary knows.
And many of the trailers and teasers.
Yeah, a big greenish tentacle thing or whatever.
With a big old eye in the middle.
Yeah, with one big old eye, America Chavez is running away from it. I
know what you're thinking now. Like Starro? And the answer is, not really.
Yeah. I feel like this could have been anything. And it's kind of weird to me, a little weird, that it's not just whatever was chasing her in the last one of these, you know?
In the last scene?
Yeah, like that big demon that I thought was supposed to be a character named, I think it's named like Sleepwalker or something, but I don't think it was. It has the same mouth. I don't know. But yeah, it's like a new weird monster man thing. And yeah, Doctor Strange does that cool thing where he jumps out of the window and gets his little cape. Great stuff. Or cloak, I guess.
That felt very Spider-Man. Like, very, like, Sam Raimi, like, yeah, I'm just having like, over the top, like, yeah, my guy's gotta go to work now. It's like, all right.
It reminded me of the Iron Man scenes where he would, like, jump out of a building and then the suit would build around him. Which is kind of what this character is now. He's like Iron Man, basically, in these, like,
it feels like they're trying to build him up to be the new kind of pillar of the MCU that Iron Man was.
In the same way that Rhodey will show up in your Captain America and the Winter Soldier show for a little cameo, you know? You got your friend, who's the guy that shows up all the time, and then the other guy who's the big, cool guy who you can't get for everything. But, yeah, I thought that fight ruled. I liked that fight a lot.
It was a good fight.
Great fight. I liked how it ended.
Loved how it ended. That was my first indication, like, oh, we're going for it. Like, they're not fucking around. And I liked, you know what I liked? And this was something that I thought was fun. Remember how in this scene, they were fighting a big giant monster in the middle of New York City? And everybody was screaming?
Yeah.
I like that, you know? It's nice to have onlookers scream at the monster. They never do that in these Marvel things, you know? They're always fighting in an empty street or an abandoned airport or some shit. But, like, I liked all those Sam Raimi-esque, like, zoom in on the screaming lady as the monster gets towards.
Oh, my God.
And not, like, America Chavez, but just some random lady
Yeah.
Who is just trying to get her coffee and go to work or whatever. Who has to deal with Shumagorath now.
How does anyone still live in New York City in the MCU?
I don't know.
It just seems like a
because it's the
place where
greatest city on earth, baby.
Why does anybody still live in New York City in the whatever universe we are in? You know, it's got rats. Eric Adams is in charge. It's expensive. Why does anybody live there? It's horrible.
Because we got them bodegas.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, they love the bodegas.
We love the bodega. The only thing I love more than bodegas is making people mad by talking about bodegas.
Yeah. Doctor Strange should go to a bodega. But he doesn't. Spider-Man went to one. That was nice of him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's the only time. So, we do have bodegas in the MCU, but it's Sony stuff, so maybe they fucked it up and that doesn't count. You never know. I think, yeah, the fight was cool. What did you guys think was the deal with America Chavez? So, you guys didn't know her from comics, correct?
That's correct.
Nope.
What did you guys think in the beginning of the movie was, like, what was she up to and, like, what was her deal?
Well, she clearly did portals, so I was like, I guess she's a portal person.
Yeah. It felt very straightforward. I felt like there was no mystery to her. It's
I guess that's
this is
fair.
exactly who this person is, and yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you mean before I even knew she did portals, I'm like, a star on her back? Is she like a Captain America?
It is weird that her name is America, and she has a Captain America star. And originally she was Miss America, I believe. That was her title. But that's not really her deal. In fact, I don't even know if she lives in America, in her universe.
I don't even know if America exists in her universe.
I think she lives in Utopia. I think her universe is just called, like, her, like, home world is called that. So probably not.
Well,
I don't know if an America and a
da.
Utopia would coexist.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So, yeah. Yeah, I liked her. She's running around and stuff, scared of the monster. Did you have a favorite moment from that fight?
I mean, the end for me.
Yeah.
DJ agrees. I liked when Doctor Strange got knocked out and the whole job of the cape was to smack him.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cute too.
And
I do like all the Raimi-isms of this. The way he injects kind of fun into the fight scenes and has all the kind of like cheesy stuff he did in the Spider-Man movies. He puts in there. I do like all that stuff.
And they did weird magic stuff. Like, it wasn't just glowy circles. There was that one bit, I forget, I think it was in this, it must have been in this fight, where he, like, just opened a portal to some fucking whale in space that ate something and then left. Like, that shit's cool. Yeah, I like it when they do that.
It's weird because I feel like there were points at this, in the movie where, like Diggins said, they got very, or maybe you said Nando, they got very creative with the magic. Just in terms of how would these sorcerers do this? But for like most of the Kamar-Taj fight, it's like shoot beam and block beam.
Yeah, what is it with arrows? Have we not?
Yeah, right.
I get Shang-Chi is a different dimension and shit, and they have magic arrows, which are, seemingly what these are too. But like they're like the Shang-Chi arrows are specifically made because they're the only thing that could kill those what you would call them, soul leaders or whatever. But yeah, with this, it's just like we have arrows and a big fucking bazooka, and that's it. It's so dumb.
The two genders.
Yeah. And that's all, according to Saudi Arabia. No more, no less. Too. Yeah. Then Doctor Strange and America Chavez hung out a little bit. It was fun. I like that they buried that guy that was Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I've buried worse things.
Yeah. That was cute.
That is going to start smelling real bad real quick, though, if anyone goes up on that roof.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, again, New York, come on. What do you know? Can't smell worse?
If it's summer, then yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I did like there was that I guess we got a second of him being like, oh, well, obviously I'm going to take your power, because that's what I do. And then she recoiled. And was like, okay. I guess we'll try to do a different thing. But
I won't murder a kid to,
yeah,
make this happen.
I guess.
And then we get Scarlet Witch. So, okay.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
What'd you guys think of this scene?
I actually thought, really good scene. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
I mean, cool scene. My problem with Scarlet Witch in this movie is more of an overall MCU thing than necessarily any of her scenes in the movie, which I think are all quite good. Elizabeth Olsen is a good actress. But it's the same exact character arc she had in WandaVision, except a little darker.
I mean, I feel like there's a slightly different motivation. Like, I'll give you that the arc is similar, but I feel like in this movie it's more of like a culmination of all of these things that has happened that she kind of brings to bear, and it's like, well, this is ridiculous, right? Like, I don't actually think the arc is
the end
so
of
similar.
The end of WandaVision is her accepting, look, as much as I might want it, I can't bring back the things that I've lost. I have to accept that they are gone, and that it is wrong to try to force the world into a shape where they can come back, because that's just going to hurt people. And then this movie is, no, but I should have those things, though.
Well, I feel like you're missing an integral part of the end of WandaVision, where, like, she's studying the Darkhold, like, yeah, I'm gonna get him back.
Yeah, okay, but we didn't see that. I don't care. We didn't see it.
That. We
No, but I mean, we didn't see the corruption process. We see her have the Darkhold, and then she shows up in the next movie, and she's total evil. And it's like, we didn't see any of that happen. So, like, I don't care. It doesn't feel real to me.
Really?
See... Yeah.
I feel like it's such a big part of it's like, because the whole, during WandaVision, like, it's not like we don't know what the Darkhold is. It's this book is evil and it corrupts people.
Yeah, but DJ, what I'm saying is, like, we get the start of, she has a book that corrupts people, and then she's just completely evil next time we see her. What's interesting about those is seeing the descent into darkness, is seeing the person kind of lose their way. But we don't have that. She's just already lost her way, and we didn't see any of it. This is something that often annoys me about MCU movies, where we have character developments that just happen completely off screen, even though they're objectively the most interesting part of the character.
Well, and I guess it's like the problem with, like, you know, it might be just a general MCU problem, but it's hard, where I was like kind of talking about, like, the movies have homework, and, you know, are the movies, is it like a movie, or is it just like a part of the MCU narrative, you know, like a comic book? I'm not like knocking it. It's just like it gets hard to kind of like separate these things, because, like, well, if you want to have a whole movie with a story, you might not get that in an MCU flick, because there's just so many different parts of media that can tell the story. And I feel like it's like kind of where we are with this, you know, for better or worse. You might think worse.
I just feel like the things they choose to depict are often the wrong choice, and they leave the interesting story not in any movie.
So I feel like it's tough with WandaVision, because I do think we all kind of acknowledged as it happened that the finale of WandaVision was bad and kind of betrayed the more interesting things that WandaVision was doing, especially where at the end they do seemingly let Wanda off the hook for letting all the people go, and she gets to just go and be a hero again. So for me, I saw this not as I saw this as like an escalation of the WandaVision issues, and I do think part of what worked about this movie, and it, like, kind of like WandaVision, she got Vision back. So then everything kind of went the way it did. And, you know, Vision kind of convinced her to give up the children and whatever. And then there was no Vision, and now she's, like, still scrambling. I don't know. I feel like the idea that this character... I think it's more unrealistic for this character to just give up on the kids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Yeah.
The idea that she is gonna... The idea that she gets done with Westview, and then her next move is like, but I'm gonna see if I can figure out a different way to do this, makes total sense to me.
But then it's like having your cake and eating it too. We have the story that's about her, where she gets to not be the villain and learn her lesson and stop doing the bad thing and go away. And then when we decide that we'd rather explore the story where she is the bad thing, she just becomes that. We don't see her become that. We don't see the process. And, like, can I imagine scenarios in which she backslides and becomes this, especially with the influence of the Darkhold? Sure. But it's not the story being told. And so it's just this sudden jarring shift that I am like, well, I feel like you're just cheating on the story here. You're telling me this happened. You aren't showing it to me.
See, for me, it kind of felt like they were... I mean, I don't think this is what happened, because I've read that, like, this filmed right after WandaVision. I think I saw somewhere that, like, Elizabeth Olsen had, like, 2 days off between WandaVision and this. So, like, I don't think it could be... I don't think, like, this could be quite a reaction to WandaVision in any way. or like a reaction to the reaction from WandaVision. But for me, I think they did the better thing. Like, I think the problem that you're highlighting is a WandaVision problem. I think Doctor Strange pretended WandaVision ended in a way that was cool, and like we just kept going from there. And I think the movie is better for it. And yeah, like I feel like this is I like this better because it almost creates a version of WandaVision where that show doesn't have such a lame ending. Like I get the having your cake and eating it too thing, but I don't think it's this movie's problem. I think it's WandaVision's problem.
Well, I think it is the movie's problem because you can't just decide the things that happened didn't happen. You know, you have to work with the thing that actually exists, not what you would want it to be. And so, like, if you're just deciding that actually no, this went a different way, that's just like it's like I say, it's like cheating. It's not having to put in the work to set up things that you would like them to be the way. You just pretend they were set up.
I don't think it's saying it's setting up a different way. I think it's more to your point, is that there's a gap of information that we're given from the logical conclusion of, yeah, she wants to get her kids back. We're just not seeing the descent into madness that, you know, Wanda's starting point in this movie is.
All I'm saying, this is Professor Hulk all over again, where they resolved his entire
not even
series,
close.
His entire
Not
series-long
even close.
character arc off-screen between two different movies.
No.
Honestly, I buy that.
Professor
I would
Hulk
take
is
that.
so much worse than this. I feel like this was...
Okay, I'll give you Professor Hulk. Professor Hulk is the worst one they've ever done. I'll give you
Professor
that.
Hulk is even worse because they almost did it in the movie and then just didn't. And like, there's animatics of it and stuff. Professor Hulk is insane. But this, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. What I appreciated was I liked Evil Wanda in this movie enough, and I think it stands on its own enough that I assume in the meetings and like writing and doing whatever, Sam Raimi and the crew were like, it's better if she's evil, right? And they were like, yeah. And then they just went, okay, we're gonna make that movie. And I'm sure if they had a more interesting version of it where she wasn't evil, we would, or like, I don't know. I appreciate that they really went for it, and I liked this scene. I do think that cliche of like, oh, you didn't tell me the name. It's gotta go. We gotta be done with that one. I want that.
But that's Sam Raimi kitsch. That's like he loves that.
Does he?
Sam Raimi does effective horror, but it's usually very cheesy horror. It's like horror comedy even he verges into, where it's like, I don't know, it's almost like Scream-esque, where you take the old cliches, but you make them work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But yeah, so then Wanda is like, I want to eat the baby. I want to kill little America Chavez. You got to give it to me. I
did like when the orchard becomes the evil orchard. And
yeah.
It's like with the red sky, like they're basically in hell. I was like, this is cool.
Hell is cool. And Doctor Strange is like, but I won't give you the little baby. And she's like, okay, well then I will come get her. And then we get the Siege of Kamartaj. So I think the outside stuff here is the most boring part of the movie.
Yes.
Like some of the stuff inside is kind of cool.
Well, no, actually I don't agree with that. With the most boring part of the movie. I agree it's not great, except for when Strange is talking to her. I loved her little speech.
Yeah.
She does such a good job with that.
And the other thing with her is I bought her character as not even being corrupted by the Darkhold. I bought her character as just, you know what? I thought about it. I actually want the kids. And like, I'm going to kill everybody. I don't care. I like that's the part of it that I totally bought. However, Wanda is not cool and smart. She is not a high level intelligence person. She's never watched Rick and Morty. She doesn't know how you're supposed to do this, where you go to a universe where Wanda's already dead and just take the kids. Right? That's the play.
Yeah.
But maybe you
to
can't
be fair,
kill Wanda.
We never get to the part where she's like, I'm going to go take the kids now, because she needs America's power first.
That's
like
true.
The Wanda she does take over is just because America and Strange are there and she needs to get them.
Yeah, so I guess you're right. She was willing to kill one America or whatever, but beyond that, she may have just been able to slide into a universe where she died at that specific time in the garage, and it doesn't really count. That would have been good for her to do. Yeah, that fight. I did like that scene. where they talked. I think the fight is dumb. I think bows and arrows are insane. They're magic. They're magic.
But I did also like when she is like looking for a weakness and just kind of the camera trick of her kind of like floating behind the one guy.
Love that.
Making him scared. That was good.
Yeah, that was cool. And but also, what were the sorcerers doing? What was their plan?
I mean,
big shield.
Killer, probably. That's like the plan, right?
With arrows?
Big shield, do the big blocky.
Yeah, like, I feel like I guess their plan was to use whatchamacallums, to use those cannons to kill her, but I cannot imagine they thought this would work. It feels like they knew this was a suicide mission, but then it also doesn't feel like there was anything going on inside. They were all inside just going like, all right, she's coming. It's like, don't bother. Just do the inside stuff. You're not going to get her outside.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I feel like in these situations, though, you have to do the outside stuff, because if you're not doing any outside stuff, then they become suspicious.
Oh, sure. I guess you do the outside stuff, and then you do the inside stuff, but the inside stuff is stuff. The inside stuff is like, all right, now you're going to, I don't know. I guess, did they want her to open a portal? Was that the plan?
I think the outside stuff didn't work, when he wasn't like, yeah, we bought some time, but we got to get out of here. Open a portal.
Yeah.
No, he was about to open a portal to somewhere else in their universe, but then Wanda melted his slinger.
Right. Yeah, the scene where by the way, what'd you guys think of Rintara, the big green Minotaur?
Oh, that was cool.
He was technically there.
It's fine. He had 2 lines, I think.
Yep.
Wow, I'm so excited to fight today.
Yeah.
I'm only 2 days away from retirement.
Well, I'm one of the ones that looks kind of interesting, so I'll probably live. So that's good for me.
Fair point.
That or I'll sacrifice myself heroically. It's one of the two. But then you get the little monster stuff in Comartage. I thought that stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah, when she's like in the mirrors and everything.
Yeah.
I like when
defensive mechanism.
I like when she turns into the ring monster for a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like that CGI was a little off, but otherwise very cool. And I liked...
I love all the little horror touches Sam Raimi does.
Yeah.
Like he's just making another Evil Dead movie.
Well, yeah, and this is really, I feel like, where the, excuse me, where the camera push-in, focus pull kind of things happened, and twisty camera happened and stuff.
They do a good job of making Wanda feel very threatening in this movie, where you understand why people are scared of her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like, I feel like the people always talk about like, oh, who's the most powerful MCU character? It's her. It's got to be, right? At this point in the, like...
she doesn't lose a single fight all movie.
Yeah, like, pretty good. But then, you guys... Remember how this movie is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
Oh, yeah, it is called that.
Well, you guys, we're going to go into a total of maybe 20 multiverses. And as far as we know, that's a lot of multiverses we went into. So, the title achieved. Title achieved.
Dude, I mean, we passed through
Yep, we go to them.
A few multiverses.
We were in them.
Do we go to many?
Yes, oh, for sure. We went to paint. We went to dinosaurs. We went to cartoon. We went to circles. We went to blue.
What if
we went to all
we put an arbitrary limit, just as a thought experiment, just to just for fun?
Oh, right.
Let's say we put a limit of any universe they spent more than 15 seconds in.
Oh.
How many of those were there?
I mean, 3. That's more than 2. That's like like it's plural.
That is more than 2. You've got me there.
Yeah. I guess 4 technically, if you want to count. Well, I guess the opening takes place in Dimension X or whatever.
It's the space between universes.
Yeah, that's kind of its own thing. Yeah, so I'm counting.
Yeah, but they are in one little spot there where the Book of Vishanti is. I don't know if I'd really count that.
Listen, we're counting it. We're getting a big fat 4 on the universes scale.
Boom.
And frankly, I'm totally fine with it. Here's why I'm fine with it. Because that's just how these titles work. Titles lie to you. It's not Age of Ultron. It's, I don't know.
The Weekend of Ultron. Weekend at Ultron's really.
Doctor Strange and several
they could have called this one Age of Ultron, perhaps.
Oh,
based on some things we see.
Yeah. And then we go to that universe pretty much. And it's like
838.
838. So it's, what would you call this universe? Like, how would you describe it to someone?
It's like, is it Utopia universe? Is
It's
everything
like-
good here?
It's like our universe, but yeah, like idyllic and a little bit more technologically advanced.
And hats and stuff.
And hats.
They all
And
so many
hats, and red means go, and green means stop.
Incredible.
And you
How do they
might
come
think,
up with stuff like that?
Oh man, what other kind of silly differences will there be in this universe? And the answer is none. That's the only one.
Pizza balls, Nando.
Pizzas,
Diggins.
balls.
They make
Yep.
pizza balls here, DJ.
Not like that.
You can
Not
go
like
find
that.
a pizza ball.
No,
They're
no.
crust on the outside. These pizza balls were like cheese and pepperoni on the outside.
Yeah, how are you supposed to eat
Insanity.
these pizza balls?
You pick
With
them
your
up with your
hands,
hands.
apparently.
Everybody in this universe just have real greasy fingers.
Maybe.
Didn't you
It's a
see
mess.
Wanda's greasy little fingertips?
It's true. She had a bunch of pizza balls on her way over. Yeah. Yeah, this universe was fine. I like the part of this universe where it gives you a little bit of exposition in the window.
Oh, a little
that?
bit? There's a little bit of exposition in this universe, Nando?
Some.
Is that how you would describe it?
A little bit, just a little bit. I don't honestly remember what Doctor Strange's exposition was. What was his?
Doctor Strange's memory thing is just him on a date with Christine. And
Oh,
being
right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm having a great time here. And then he looks sad. So America's like, he's not with Christine in this universe. I see.
Right. Oh, yeah. What else is funny? We didn't really talk about this, that the America Chavez one universe is, or like, I don't know what you call it. Defender Strange speaks Spanish. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he seems to speak English and Spanish. So I think
Right,
he is,
yeah.
he is from a universe that only speaks the English language, like the MCU universe.
Yeah. The Queen's English.
But then he
Very
also
living.
knows Spanish, which apparently exists unaltered in America Chavez's Utopia universe.
Yeah, might as well. Be weird if she came in and just started going like, and then shit, they don't talk
language-
English or any language in this universe.
Language is the number one weird thing you should never think about in any sci-fi story because it's just a black hole of logic.
I like it when they just, like, I feel like Star-Lord does that. They just give him, like, a little thing, and they're like, this is your language implant.
Yeah, the
Everything's
Babel
good.
fish from
Yes.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Exactly, yeah. I guess hypothetically, I mean, this wouldn't make sense in the next universe, but, like, maybe America Chavez would have the best version of that Babel fish in her head, because she is the multiverse queen or something. But, yeah, it doesn't really matter. She goes, and then her little thing in America and other countries shows how many mommies, you guys?
Well, one,
Dose.
that's the regular amount of mommies that all people should have, right?
Well,
Nando?
that's true. Yeah, and then her friend, her mommy's good friend.
Her gal pal.
Mommy's friend, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so what's America Chavez's origin story here?
Basically, I guess she just always had this power, but at first she was raised on the idyllic Utopia planet by her mom and her mom's life companion. Mm-hmm. She has two mothers. Let's be clear about this. She has two gay mothers, but we're not allowed to say gay or show them kissing or holding hands. But we say two mothers and they're next to each other, and that's too much for Saudi Arabia.
Yep. And probably like China or something too. It's very cool. I mean, yeah, it is the most cuttable scene in this movie for sure. It's not even a scene. It's just like a scene they watch.
Then America is about to get stung by a wasp, so she gets scared and opens a multiverse portal that her mothers are flung into, and she's never seen them again.
So what you're telling me, Diggins, is that bees and wasps are assholes in all universes.
Yes. Well, bees
They're
are
homophobic
fine.
in
Wasps
some.
are assholes.
Fine, just
wasps.
Just-
Like, bees do lots of good things for people, and wasps do figs, I guess, but are also just evil.
Yeah. Now, that seems like a crazy origin story, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would fuck that kid up big time.
Yeah.
She's pretty well adjusted considering.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, Nando. I'm sure that we will get into her internal character psychology through the rest of this movie. There's so much time left. What could they possibly fill it with besides bonding and growth between Doctor Strange and America Chavez?
Listen. First we cut to Wanda and Wong, and she's torturing him and stuff. That part was fun, wasn't it?
I mean, he's just hanging out. She has restrained him.
Yeah, she's just she's researching
that's true,
dreamwalking
yeah.
in the Darkhold.
There really are levels of, like, like reasonable that Wanda kind of is in this movie. Like, it really is just like, guys, I want my fucking kids. Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to kill Wong. Everybody likes Wong in this universe. He's very cool.
Yeah.
Wong is just super cool, and yeah, like Wanda got to him in her rampage and was like, but Wong though, he's so cool.
I'm gonna do that thing where I throw him and he hits the wall, and then he hits his head and lands on the ground, and he's knocked out, but that didn't kill him. It's fine. I'm gonna do that.
Even though he fell like 20 stories.
Yeah, and landed on his head.
Don't worry about it.
He, Wong also. So this is where the Darkhold gets stabbed by one of the guys, one of the seemingly dead.
And it turns out this super powerful, ancient, evil book filled with the most powerful dark magic in the universe. If you stab it, it's gone forever.
Yeah, handy.
All the books in this movie, it's almost like these books are made of paper.
Yeah, yeah, they
Insane.
really are. They got to do better book stuff. Now, I can't remember. In Evil Dead, is that how you killed the Necronomicon?
The Necronomicon is quite durable. The whole series is basically them trying to figure out ways to destroy the Necronomicon.
Right, so good for them in this that they could stab it and it worked. Because, yeah, that seemed pretty futile when she was setting it up. I was like, no, this is just, she's going to die to show how serious Wanda is. But no, she is, that worked. I mean, she did die, but that worked.
I guess it does kill her when she stabs it, but the Darkhold is also gone. So I was like,
yeah.
Really? Okay.
Also, I did think it was good. We got some good shots during the Camartage thing of Wanda just absolutely wasting people. Like,
yes, absolutely.
There were some head bonks for your main characters, but she was ready to roast sorcerers.
They give her plenty of jobbers in this movie to absolutely shred.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
By the way, the sorcerer bench is very deep. I mean, I know we know that from Endgame, but man, there's just they got a lot of guys to pull from.
It's a lot less deep after this one.
Yeah, and even
at the end of the movie when they're training people, it still seems pretty healthy.
That's true. I guess how many sorcerers? So when they're doing the Camartage suit up scene, they get the sorcerers from the Hong Kong and London sanctums, right? They come in and they're like, "We're here to help." And it's like, you got two? Are there not other sorcerers out in the world that can come home? But I guess
the rest
not.
of them don't have slingers, so they had to walk.
They should make more of those. That'd be handy. Go to other dimensions and just steal theirs. Because, okay, could you sling ring into a different dimension?
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't seem like that's a thing on the table.
But you can sling ring out of the mirror dimension.
Well, it's not a multiverse. Right.
I guess dimension is within universes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, wait. Are we talking about dimensions or universes?
Yeah.
Because this quickly gets very confusing.
Yeah, dimensions and universes are different. That makes sense. So the dark dimension that has Dormammu in these movies.
That's their universe.
And maybe some other characters we'll see later.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I buy that.
Which means there's multiple Dormammus, I guess, then.
Yeah, we gotta watch out.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. You always gotta be coming to bargain.
Yeah. And then what is Doctor Strange? What happens to Doctor Strange besides pizza balls? Let's talk about pizza balls. He gets
Bruce
pizza
Campbell's
balls.
there.
Yeah. America
He makes
Chavez
Bruce
is
Campbell punch himself in the face.
pretty good. I like that. When I got to my theater, there were some guys that were talking. First of all, don't do this. In the movie, before the movie started, about cameos they thought were going to be in the movie. And I was like, shut up, dudes. Shut up. But one of them was like, I'm pretty sure Ash from Evil Dead is going to be in it as Ash and kill the zombie. So when it was that, I was like, yeah, fuck those guys. That's what you get for trying to spoil the movie, kind of, for me and everyone around you. But yeah, America Chavez says food should be free. That's nice, I guess.
She says food is free. And then Bruce Campbell goes, you're stealing my food. She's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there was more of America Chavez lies about how universes work.
Yeah, right? That was fun.
Or America Chavez's tips about traveling through the multiverse, because we got 2 of those, right? And first one was just eat. Or that was the second one? What was the first one?
The first one is don't assume anything.
Right,
you know nothing.
And the second was find food. But Nando, again, there's so much movie left that's all about this traveling journey with Doctor Strange and America Chavez. How could she not give any more advice?
Cut back to Wanda and Wong, because the book is destroyed, we have to get another book.
We have to go on a side quest.
Yeah. And Wong is like, the book is a copy, which, okay.
Sure.
Copy that book then, I guess.
I gotta say, I think this is real shitty on Juan's part, because, like, his student sacrifices herself so that, like,
Yeah.
Wanda can't have the book, and then Wanda tortures a couple of the students, and he's like, you know what, my student sacrifice is in vain. Here you go, Wanda, you win.
And
isn't that
all the
shitty?
guys that died protecting the house before. All their sacrifices are also in vain.
Yeah.
It is kind of shitty. I do think Wong folded a little too quickly on that one.
Because you would imagine the students would be like, no, Wong, don't. It's not worth it. But
Well, guys, you have to understand that just like George W. Bush taught us, torture works.
And to be fair to Wong, one of them was the weird Minotaur, so that was kind of like, oh shit, we only have one of those.
that guy deserves to die.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
no,
that
we gotta
guy's
keep
so much
him.
more interesting
Oh,
than
yeah,
everyone
keep him
else.
alive. No,
He's
right,
gonna be in
right,
action
right,
figures.
right.
Yeah, we can't let him go. So then they go to a magic mountain full of stuff.
They go on a side quest.
What's the name of that place?
Wondagore Mountain. So
Wondagore, yeah.
Is that like a well-known MCU or Marvel comic thing?
yes, in the comics, it is the home of the High Evolutionary, who is
Ooh.
this weird super being who is probably going to be in Guardians 3, because sometimes he's like cosmic and whatever, and he's very much related to Wanda and Pietro and stuff. And they've rewritten the powers to in their backstory in 2015, I think, to make it that they were just dropped off at his house. They were just like dropped off at this mansion, like at this mountain, like temple thing, and that's where they got their powers from. And they weren't mutants, but then they changed that. But like, so yeah, that's very Wanda. And I think there's other stuff in her backstory that she's connected there. I think it both, like, because yeah, a lot of the time her origin turned out to have been a lie. But even in the original one, I think they were dropped off on Wondagore Mountain, and raised there. A lot of people thought that was where she went at the end of WandaVision. Like that was where that little cabin was, but that's not it. And then I did like this part. Do you guys remember how they got to Wondagore Mountain?
Wong teleports them to a little ways away from it, and she's like, you couldn't have teleported us to the top?
And then he's like, no, that magic doesn't work near the mountain. And that's a lie, right?
Or her magic does. Like, that wasn't made very clear.
I feel like
It seems
Wong
like
does the
Wong-
magic later.
I feel like literally the only thing you can't do on Mount Wondagore is teleport there. Everything else is fine.
Okay. See, I like the version in my head where he lied, because he was just like, but in that version, he thought she would get there and go, fuck, I guess we can't have the babies. Damn it.
Right.
All right, well, tell Dr. Strange.
Why not just take her to a wrong place? Like, she doesn't know what this is.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, why not just drop her to volcano? It's down in there. Don't worry, it's not a real volcano.
Maybe he does want her to win because he folds quickly. Like,
Yeah.
Well, again, as Jack Bauer would have us know, torture works.
It does work.
Right.
We tortured some folks. We tortured some Wongs. I think
Do it.
the Wondagore Mountain stuff is fine. I like
think
how she
it's
gets four
bad.
goon monsters to just be like
The
around.
goon monsters
like-
look cool and never do anything.
Not a damn thing.
In fact, they're like almost more useless because they go down pretty quick.
I guess they're only there so that when she dreamwalks, we don't go like, why isn't Wong killing her now?
Yeah, that too, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. But the whole thing is, I think, part of why this middle section is my least favorite part of the movie, because it's very much like wheel spinning, like, oh, we don't want to move on the plot yet, so let's put some pointless obstacles in the way that don't advance anyone's character or anything, and they're just kind of stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
No. I think they advance some characters. I think they quite advance characters.
Please explain.
Yeah.
I mean, we get the evil Doctor Strange. Like the idea that the Illuminati is trying to throw out is, I think, a big part of Doctor Strange's development. Is
Is it
no,
is it fan service?
I would agree that it is a big part of what the movie is setting up to be Doctor Strange's character development, and then he simply does not do it.
well, I think he like finds a weird little middle ground that I think works for him. But we'll get to it when we get there. Because we're pretty much there now. So Doctor Strange goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and who does he find?
To whom do his wandering eyes should appear.
Yes. A certain
Why,
character we all know and love.
His greatest foe, whom we've seen clash with him countless times in various battles to the death, Baron Carl Mordo.
Yep. I like it because it's funny to me. It is funny to me because I feel like someone who didn't see Doctor Strange would assume more stuff happened. You know?
Yeah. We'd be like, that was the villain of the first movie.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nope. And you'd be like, no, that wasn't true. And it'd be like, oh, okay, so he was in like some Disney Plus thing or something. Nope. This is his second time. It wasn't even for the snap. He didn't even call him.
No, he was in the first movie. He was just kind of stayed in the background and said he was Doctor Strange's friend until the end when he was like, I don't like you anymore. And that was the whole thing.
And then he invites him in for tea, and he's nice, in fact. And they explain the whole thing to him.
And he's like, sounds serious.
Yeah. And then what happens instead?
He poisons them with his tea. His betrayal tea.
Don't drink the tea. Guys, come on.
Honestly.
Basic stuff.
You know I can't resist the tea, DJ. I'm a gossipy
I know
bitch.
it's taste. Well, I know, but like you just can't do it because then you're going to get tea poison. And then how are you going to feel? You're going to feel like a silly little bitch.
Well, it's funny, too, because every time Doctor Strange meets a new character in this movie that isn't, like, Wong or someone he already knows, or even, like, someone he knows, like Wanda, he's like, okay, so here's the problem. I'm from a universe, and someone from my universe is trying to kill you, and they're going to kill everybody, and they're trying to steal her. And then that person always goes, oh, okay, cool, sounds good, and then immediately betrays him. Like, we get that 3 times in this movie.
That's true.
He should stop telling people about her by the third one at least, or should stop telling Doctor Strange about any of this. But he's just a trusting guy. That's what Philadelphians do, you know. But he's supposed to be from Philadelphia in these movies. He's not, because that is not a Philadelphian accent. But technically, that is where that character is usually from. So then he gets poisoned, and he goes to where?
He's like in like a prison, like a fun little box prison, because he could have like a disease or something.
Which, great point. Like,
yeah, I mean, actually fair. It turns out to not at all be why they did that, but it's a fair point.
Yeah, like they could all have diseases. He could bring COVID to the multiverse. That would be so fucked. That could destroy that planet like it destroyed ours. Everybody have to wear masks and stuff. Ugh. I mean, we know it wouldn't work for everybody. Definitely one person wouldn't want it, but even the rest of them probably wouldn't like it. Yeah. And that person is the person that tells him that is Christine.
Oh my God, Christine!
And she's in this one too.
She's alive.
Well, but she's not dead in any of the universes that we know.
I mean,
she's
in all the
what if
ones,
universe.
I guess. But this isn't the what if universe, despite how some Captain Carters would have you believe.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that show, man. This one is a different one. It's a universe where all the characters that they don't know what to do with go. It's the island of misfit toys. And you got Christine, first of all, one of the misfit toys of these movies, who they can't figure out what to do with. And she is a scientist working on multiverses or whatever, and like fancy stuff.
And you're like, aren't you like a medical doctor? And she says, shut up.
Yep. That's what that's pretty cool. And Doctor Strange has silly little handcuffs that don't let him do any magic, which I found.
Because they're full of magic sand.
Yeah, I found that adorable. But then we get I think Mordo, no, someone bring, I guess the robots bring Doctor Strange to meet the Illuminati, you guys.
I think it's both of them. I think Mordo comes with robots to bring.
Yeah, that's
because Mordo is the one who says it's not S.H.I.E.L.D. or the other thing you said, Avengers. It's the Illuminati. Oh.
Yeah. The Illuminati. Oh my God.
Now, the Illuminati. So, what do we know about the Illuminati, you guys?
Like in general? Like in the comics?
Like in the comics. You guys familiar with them?
I'm not sure if they ever did anything besides this. I'm aware of them as a lead-up thing to Civil War, where I think it was Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Namor the Submariner, Doctor Strange, and they invited Black Panther, but Black Panther was like, this shit is whack. Peace.
Yeah, he's in sometimes. He is.
Yeah, I think he's joined later since then.
But I'm only familiar with this lead up to Civil War, where they like made a bunch of really stupid decisions that caused Civil War.
Kind of.
Right.
I would say the most significant thing the Illuminati did in the comics, and this was in lead up to Civil War, but I wouldn't say this
Launch
had too
Hulk
much of an
off
effect
planet?
on it. What's up?
Launch Hulk off planet.
Yes, they launched Hulk off planet. So, and then that started Planet Hulk, which started World War Hulk. Although World War Hulk is just a dumb misunderstanding because no one can be bad for real. But yeah, it's all those guys you named plus Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic are both
right.
Illuminatis
I said
in
Reed
the
Richards.
original. Oh, you did say okay, yeah, Black Bolt.
I did
and
Vince Black Belt though.
Yeah, so it's in the Illuminati in that comic series. I believe at that time it is
Sorry, no. Please use his real name, Blackagar Boltagon.
Blackagar Boltagon. Yes, of course. It's Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Professor X says no. Professor X does not help, but doesn't say no, I think.
I think Professor X never even shows up. Black Panther shows up and is like, "This sucks."
Yeah.
Bye.
And then I think Namor and Black Panther either joined later or were there before. 'Cause I don't think Namor's involved in that decision. Or maybe if he is, when Hulk comes back, he's dead. I can't remember, but he doesn't play a part in World War Hulk, like Hulk's justice. The way that the other ones do. But, yeah, they're just, like, I think the thing that, and I guess the name Illuminati does this in general, is like, they're kind of bad. Like, they're not, they think they're cool and sweet, but usually their decisions are the wrong decision.
Yeah. Look, we all know Illuminati just means the enlightened in Latin, but it carries a lot of real-world connotations, and if you don't want people to think you're evil, don't call yourself the Illuminati.
Call yourselves the Pentaveret. Now, we all know what that is, right? Mike Myers' new show or whatever, where it's the Illuminati, but nice. It's fucking, oh, God. Yeah, so they did that. They made an Illuminati in this. Now, we said who the members were originally, and that's not who these ones are. Some are, some are not.
Well, there's 2 overlap?
3.
Technically 3 if you count Baron Mordo.
Oh, I was going to say 4 then, right?
Well, but we said he doesn't join, right? He's just, they invite him. But in this one, he is part of it.
Oh, well, I think Professor X is part of the Illuminati usually, but he just doesn't do the
true.
Hulk thing. I think he is definitely...
He typically is a member, yes.
Yeah.
He typically is, yes.
So, yeah, we get Professor X, the only one that was in the trailer, and again, I'm very impressed by the... Well, that's not true either. But the one that is in the trailer the most. I guess you do get a little bit of Monica or Maria Rambeau in the trailer, the second one. It's a little bit unclear originally, but it becomes a lot clearer in the second trailer. Although for me, I wasn't convinced she was on the Illuminati. I kind of thought maybe she was just an Avenger or whatever and like worked for them, because that character usually isn't on the Illuminati. But she is part of it. Who else we got? We got Baron Mordo, like you said, Carl. It'd be funny if they called him Carl. What if it was just like...
Come on, Carl.
Carl, get over here. Stop it. Don't let me go, Carl. But yeah.
But everyone's favorite actor, Anson Mount, playing Blackagar Boltagon.
Loved it.
Is that the guy from the show?
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
And a show I watched. And
a show we did the podcast.
We did a second episode of the podcast. I think he was fine in it. Obviously, that show is the worst. I think maybe the worst, probably the worst thing Marvel overall has produced. So I'm glad he got to be in something else, and I liked his little outfit in this better than in the other one, even though it still wasn't, I wouldn't say quite perfect, but it was close enough. He had a big stupid tuning fork, and they made fun of his name.
The tuning fork is very important.
Yeah, tuning fork fucking rocks.
I feel like every time I've ever seen a comic where someone meets Black Bolt, they make fun of his name. And it's like, he is so serious. Like, he is not the kind of guy to make fun of his name, but whatever. They all do it. Who else we got on the Illuminati?
We got Captain Carter, or who nobody calls Captain Britain, which I feel like they should.
Like, in their heads, they should, but that's a totally different guy, so it would be bad for comics.
Yeah.
I love Captain Britain, by the way. I've been rereading some of those early Excalibur comics. Like, they could make her Captain Britain, but then they would have to have her use magic powers and be powered by Britain itself. And
true.
She would never
power
leave.
of Britain itself.
Yeah. That's how he works. He is powered by, like, he is super powered when it's almost like a Green Lantern battery, I want to say. Like, if he is in London or Britain or whatever, super powerful. If he's not there, he can be away from it for a while, but he will become less powerful over time. And he goes to Britain and recharges.
Can I be honest with you, Nando?
Yeah.
I had never heard of the character who's in the post-credit scene in this movie. And so I thought that was Psylocke and they were doing Excalibur.
Me too. I also thought that was Psylocke.
I could see it, yeah. Good old white Psylocke from back in the day when they had smushed her into two people because it was a weird time. Yeah, I feel like they should call her Captain Britain, except for they shouldn't, because I want a good Captain Britain in the movies. But yeah, she has the Britain shield, so
yeah.
Then
remember
they have...
I do want to say, remember how she gets introduced specifically?
She like jumps down, right, or something like that.
Kind of. She throws the shield at Doctor Strange, and it bounces around a little bit to show that she has shields. Very, very extra.
You know who I am.
Yeah, right? Who else we got?
We've got an extremely popular fan cast that, can I say, didn't love.
Hated it.
Oh.
I also didn't. I've never liked it, but I think he is wrong for that role in so many ways.
Well, let's talk about it.
We're talking about Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel to whatever.
Because she's not white.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, this is the Wokiverse, I guess, that they went into, right?
The MCU.
The MCU, yeah. So then we get everybody's favorite guy. The favorite guy of everybody that makes fan art on the internet.
The guy who single-handedly saved Venezuela in that Amazon show.
I mean, him and the help of the CIA, the greatest organization known to man. He also saved the fucking, didn't he do the Benghazi movie too? He saved Benghazi.
Did he? Was he in that?
I think so.
Now I have to look this up.
I gotta look it up. I don't even remember, what was that movie called? Does anybody know? Benghazi, a true Hollywood story. Five-O goes Benghazi.
13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. And he is indeed in that movie.
There you go. Yeah, so he does movies like that. And even when he doesn't do movies like that, he does movies like The Quiet Place, a movie that's fine.
With his wife.
With his wife. A movie that is nothing like another movie, nothing like another book that came out. Don't even check. What do we think of him?
In this
or in general?
I guess both.
I mean, in general, I don't love him. In this, I don't love him. So same?
Yeah. I liked him in this
Diggins?
because of how well he did at being the character in one specific way. I really, in fact, his part brought me so much joy. It may be my favorite part of the movie. So I guess there's that.
I think I may know what part you're talking about, Nando.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things he happens to him or he does. So it's not a big deal. I also feel like maybe this was us getting it out of our system in a way that's kind of like, all right, good. Now we don't have to talk about this guy anymore.
I mean, they're not committed to it because this is an alternate universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think...
that's the idea, right?
We're talking around it. He's playing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. CIA Reed Richards, probably. We don't know for a fact, but yeah.
My opinion of John Krasinski, I have no real opinion of him. I've barely seen him in anything. Don't watch The Office. I don't know.
What?
My opinion of him in this movie...
You gotta start watching The Office. That's how you get Tinder matches. I don't know if you've seen any of the profiles, but it is like the _1 personality trait of a lot of people on there.
Nando, I don't need to watch The Office because I've read Harry Potter.
Okay. Then you're good. You're good.
Oh, God.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, you haven't seen The Office.
So yeah, I have no real opinion of John Krasinski as an actor in general. In this, I don't think he was very good for the role.
Yep, I agree. I feel like he felt almost like, I want to say like an afterthought, but I could see a version of this where he's not the main guy, or like where he's not in it, but then they wanted to put him in it, so then they put him in the last minute.
I can see a version of this movie where none of this stuff happens because I don't think many of it means much or does anything for the movie.
But yeah, he's in there, and he teleports. I like that he teleported. And what did you think of the suit? Was the suit good?
I didn't love it, if I'm being honest.
It's that classic Marvel over-designed bullshit. Like padding and nonsense. I at least liked that he had a big 4 on his chest. That was good.
I mean, they got that, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I don't know what I want a Reed Richards to sound like and what kind of cadence and like all that stuff, but like I don't know, there's like something slightly off about just kind of like I don't know, like the way he like talked and was like addressing like the team. It's like I don't know, I guess I don't buy him as like
Here's the thing.
You know, intelligent Superman.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't look at John Krasinski and think this man is a fucking nerd. This man is really smart, and also nobody likes him. That's not the sense I get from him.
And he thinks he's really smart. Like not like he lords it over people, but like he's aware, you know? And I get he was a little arrogant at some points, kind of, but this like characterization of him here as being kind of warm and like nice and trying to talk Wanda down, that was not Doctor Strange. Or that was not, well, I mean, it definitely wasn't Doctor Strange. That was not Mr. Fantastic. Like,
right.
Also, his ears are too big. Let's just get that out of the way. He's got big ears, and listen. I mean, have you ever seen pictures of his Captain America screen test?
No,
ears are too big. It's not good. I don't know. I understand why people like him in this role because he kind of looks like the guy as he is in the comics right now, and he has a wife. Much like the guy does in the comics, and she would probably be good because I like her in general. I think she's fine, but yeah, I don't think he's worth it. Also, he's white.
I'm with Diggins. This might be like a get it out of our systems kind of deal. You know, like we did it internet, we did it everyone. What was the reaction to like
Joe.
your guys' theaters?
I think people were excited, but
mine too. Everyone was like really stoked. They're like, oh my god, yay!
I think they would have been equally excited if a different person showed up as
I think
that character.
I think the big four is what made on his chest is what made everybody excited. Not that it was John Krasinski specifically.
Well, I do think.
All right, fair.
Like, I don't like him here in this universe now. Like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 616 as it is known, because he is white. I want a black one because his descendant Kang is black in this, and
also MCU too woke.
Well, exactly. I wanted to be a little too woke. But you know, but beyond that, I feel like the idea that he is like I think what happened. Here's what I think happened with him. First of all, fan art, which is, you know, what are you going to do? Good fan art too.
Yeah.
But more than that, I think Marvel in 2015 maybe, just started drawing Reed Richards with a beard, and he did kind of and a bigger nose, and he did kind of look like John Krasinski, and I think a lot of fans noticed this before they told each other, and then it seemed like their idea, and then that became something that was like, obviously it's got to be him because he looks so much like him and he's so perfect, and that was the fan casting I came up with. And obviously there's nothing wrong with fan casting, but I do think Marvel, I think if he didn't look, if Mr. Fantastic didn't have that beard, I don't think anybody would see it. It was just like the perfect right time with those movies, like the Quiet Place movies and bearded Mr. Fantastic, which I guess was later than 2015. But yeah, and then there's one more member of the Illuminati that shows up.
It's your boy.
Yeah, and a big awesome yellow chair.
Yeah.
What a chair.
MODOK,
yeah. Imagine if you were like, what's the purpose of that chair in reality? What does it even do?
Well, he typically he is not telekinetic per se. He is just telepathic. So he needs the chair to move usually.
Yeah, but I mean, like, why does it have to be so big? What? Like, it's huge. In the real world,
so that it looks cool, and you can look at it and be cool. Like, the '90s show I loved as a kid. This movie's good now.
Exactly, and I think you get it. So, he shows up and he's like, "We should tell him the truth," and then they tell Doctor Strange the truth. He does little circles in his head, by the way. Love that.
Yes.
That was good.
We finally get to see the psychic powers. Yeah. That's what was missing the whole time.
They do need to do that. I think it's big. And we see Infinity War 2, I guess, in their universe.
Infinity War.
Oh, yes. What happened in Infinity 2 War?
Well, Thanos, first of all, gave them way more time than he did in our universe.
Yeah, what a guy.
What do you mean?
So apparently Doctor Strange had been shadow walking for like a whole bunch of time, trying to find a way to stop Thanos. Even though in our universe, Doctor Strange learning that Thanos is a going concern and then having to fight him to the death happened like all at once.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, he does a bunch of shadow walking with their Darkhold, accidentally destroys a universe because of all his shadow walking, because going into other people's universes can weaken the fabric of the universe and make it implode or whatever.
Happens.
Which, by the way, I want to say they're all like, Doctor Strange, you're too dangerous. There could be incursions. You have to leave. If I was Doctor Strange, I'd be like, I would love to leave. I have no particular reason to be here. Like, if you could just help me leave, that would be amazing. Anyway. And so everyone's mad at him, but also he finds the Book of Vishanti, and that lets them defeat Thanos. But then afterwards they go, Doctor Strange, you killed like a trillion people, and that's fucked. So you gotta go.
Which, like, fair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was like addicted to shadow walking. It seems like he had little purple fingers, so if he had kept doing it, he could have destroyed more. How do they kill him?
How do they kill Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Well, Black Bolt apologizes to him.
Sorry.
And because Doctor Strange is such a manly man, the mere concept that another person would apologize for something they've done just causes him to instantly die.
I want to say, I'm not positive about this. I think that's also how he kills his brother in the Inhumans show. I think he says, I'm sorry, and that kills him. I don't think it rips him to shreds. I think it causes an earthquake. But like, it's still an I'm sorry. So maybe he doesn't know that many words.
How's the visual? What do you think of the visualization?
Good. I like the sound of it. I like the way it kind of, I don't know, like built on itself.
Yeah.
I feel like his sound, the visualization of his powers is always kind of stupid because it has to be so fucking big to be as big as they always say it is, where they're like, he could destroy. I feel like the line is always like, he can destroy a mountain with a whisper. And like, if he's doing that, then yeah, he should destroy the whole fucking planet. Doctor Strange's head shouldn't just melt really slowly, but whatever.
What if he sneezed? Like, what does he do when he has to sneeze?
He just doesn't. That universe has no COVID because of him. They have to make sure no diseases, otherwise Black Bolt will kill everybody. Maybe next time that's what they should have done. Yeah, put him next to like a mirror, and just have Black Bolt blow himself up. I mean, we'll get to it, but. Yeah, so they killed their Doctor Strange, and then they lied about whether he was a good guy or not to everybody, even though he's still pretty much a good guy.
They put up a big statue to be like, he died saving everyone from Thanos, and not we killed him.
Yeah.
And they say it's like, well, because people need their heroes. And I was like, are you sure it's not so people question why you, decided to be like a government entity and execute a man for his crimes instead of remanding him to the custody of an actual government? You think it might be because you basically did a murder? Do you think maybe that's why you didn't tell people?
Well, that is, I almost wish we spent more time with the Illuminati.
I could not wish for something less.
Not necessarily in this movie, although I would take it because I like them a lot. I just think that's fun. But I do think the fun of them is like, they're wrong. What they did was, they did a, Star Trek Lives of the Many, Lives of the Few kind of thing, and that is bad. And we get a little bit of that judgment here in that we don't like that being applied to our Doctor Strange because that would be fucked. But the idea that it's like they killed him, I don't know. I feel like we don't give it nearly enough scrutiny in this universe.
I feel like it's just meant to be like a warning thing for Doctor Strange. It's like other versions of you do bad things because it's convenient for them to solve problems, and maybe they did have higher concerns in mind, but there are still consequences for bad things that can be, in some cases, maybe even worse.
And I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, if only he had learned that lesson in this movie.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, sorry. So just quick question. Do people in this universe know who the Illuminati is?
I feel like by calling yourselves the Illuminati, you're implying no.
Right?
I think
but then what
do
do people think that building is?
I mean, those characters have to be public figures if they're putting up a memorial for Doctor Strange. So I think they are like, that is just the word for Avengers in their universe. And maybe it just doesn't have as negative of a connotation.
I was going to say, people should have like a problem with that then. It's like, oh my god, Illuminati confirmed.
I mean, the word Avengers is so weird out of context anyway. Like, the idea that, like, that's what our supergroup is called is, like, so dumb. Yeah. So, I guess that's part of it. But yeah, they have to be. Because Reed Richards is, like, a guy. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah. And I like that Mordo just really wants to execute Doctor Strange, and he doesn't really give a shit what anybody else says. Like, he's just like...
That's his goal in every universe,
yeah.
right? He just wants to kill Doctor Strange.
One of these days, we'll see it in ours, but for now, we gotta check on 814 or whatever universe to see him do it. But then who do our wandering eyes does appear?
Wanda, now that she's in Mount Wundagore, can now do the shadow walking spell that she was about to do before, but we had to pointlessly extend the time so the Illuminati could talk at us for 15 minutes or whatever.
Thanks, Wong.
Can you tell I don't like this part of the movie?
I can't. I mean, listen, it's about to get pretty cool. So
it does get cooler here, because this is when Wanda does an Evil Dead sequence.
Yeah,
where
so Wanda...
You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's that bit where I also really like... And are you talking about the Evil Dead sequence being when they when she takes over other Wanda?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that visually.
Because that one's like fully actually just an Evil Dead sequence. He does the like point of view of the demonic force thing, and then all the fucked up stuff that happens while she's walking through the house. That's just straight up a sequence from Evil Dead.
That was very cool. And then this Wanda goes to get America Chavez.
Yeah. I want to say one little touch I really liked in that sequence was when the picture of herself looks at her.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
It was creepy. It was cool.
Also, how about those kids watching some sort of cartoon of, I don't know, the Mickey Mouse knockoff or something? Is that what that was?
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit?
Yeah, I think they were watching that. And it's like, oh, that's what Mickey Mouse is. As if fucking 10-year-olds would watch Mickey Mouse, black and white Mickey Mouse cartoons. They're playing Fortnite.
Maybe.
They're playing whatever this universe's Fortnite is.
Younger children, I would believe, would do that.
Maybe. They're also
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is a very popular show for young children right now.
That is true. The kids love it. I like that scene. And then Wanda becomes amazing and goes to the Illuminati to get her America back.
Yes.
Goes to steal her America. She does an insurrection at the Illuminati.
Yeah. This movie's about January 6th.
It really is. Because the Illuminati did steal America, and they put it in the Capitol, you know? Like, that what happened.
You're getting it backwards here, Nando. Wanda is the Democrat Party who is trying to take the rightfully won victory away from America Chavez, usurp her power, and do a big coup. And Doctor Strange is the heroic figurehead of on our beloved God Emperor Donald Trump, who is trying to stop the Democrat Party from stealing the election, which in this case is America's powers.
That is it. So good. Yeah, she does that, and she rips all the Ultrons. They have Ultrons, by the way. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said this movie could be Age of Ultron. Yeah, you're thinking like, oh, do you guys have a Tony Stark? And the answer is Robert Downey Jr. didn't want to show up.
Well, or Tom Cruise, which was what the rumor was for a very long time. And I think was happening at one. I believe, because I feel like I've heard a lot of leaks that were true that came with that.
So what do you think happened?
I bet he couldn't do it. I bet it's just didn't have time. He's doing a stupid Top Gun movie, yeah. And
they were like, we don't have a big enough shoebox for you to look taller than everyone else. And he was like, no deal.
Yeah, he wanted to direct the whole movie, and they were like, I guess not. But I do think the aesthetic of those Ultrons is so close to the superior Iron Man design. The only Iron Man they didn't do in the movies that would be the right Iron Man for here. So it's like it just feels so right, and I would not be surprised if I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple things. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Captain Marvel originally, and then they couldn't do it, so they got Captain Marvel in, because the visual effects would be similar, and also he is conceivably a character you could kill with a rock, as opposed to someone else, but I could also see Reed Richards being a sub-in, because if you take Captain Marvel out of that group, it kind of works as an Illuminati. Captain America, like, yeah, he's not usually in it, but sure, you put her in because they need a Captain America. But, like, yeah, an Iron Man fits right into that group, but I don't know.
Well, like, I don't know, like, they're probably not, I don't know, I wonder if they're not at a point where they're ready for an Iron Man besides Tony Stark, because, like, every Iron Man is, like, so self-righteous, right? Like, are you going to get the Iron Man, like, it's okay, like, Doctor Strange can understand, like, it's not a big deal?
I mean, I think you would get if I was doing that scene, my Iron Man would be the biggest tool. Like he would be the one. He would be the one that comes in and is like, Wanda, okay, I got this. Don't worry, guys, and goes out first and gets his head ripped off or something. Like
right.
Because he knows best. And this is the Iron Man who fixed Ultron and like did everything right. So he cannot be stopped as far as he knows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, and that is, I mean, that's kind of the vibe of superior Iron Man. Like he thinks he's a god of technology, and he kind of is. So it's like, I don't know, it works. And I think you get Tom Cruise for that as a way to be like, well, it's not Robert Downey Jr., so it's very much a different character, and it's a very one and done. Like there's no you like if you had Robert Downey Jr., you could be like, oh, maybe they're going to bring him back. But I feel like with this, you'd be like, okay, that's definitely the only time we'll ever see this guy.
But Nando,
like that.
Why would it be that an Iron Man who showed up in this scene would definitely be a one and done?
Oh, well, you would never believe it, but they all explode, kind of. Not really all of them. So some of them.
I'm imagining, Nando, your favorite thing that Reed Richards does in this movie is get unraveled and then his head exploded.
Yeah,
literally
it was
unraveled,
pretty
right?
good.
How fun is that?
My favorite thing, Reed Richards. So for people that don't know, this is the best scene in the movie. In terms of like just being a cool thing, and you know what? That's not even true. There's other scenes in this movie that are action scenes that are pretty cool, but this is the scene that stood out to me as like, this is something weird that we wouldn't really get in a regular Marvel movie. Felt like an Invincible. They pretty much did Invincible.
Yeah.
But so all the Illuminatis, well, not all of them, because Professor X and Mordo, I guess, stay. But the 4 that can fly, including Captain Marvel for some reason, she has a jetpack in this universe, all go fight Wanda. Do you guys remember exactly what Mr. Fantastic says to her?
I don't remember the exact verbiage.
He says basically like, Black Bolt could kill you with a word.
Okay.
Nope. Well, basically, but that is not what he says. He says a way clunkier version of that line to facilitate her line, which may be part of why I didn't love John Krasinski in this, is that line is just very stupid.
Oh, yeah, because he has to say the word mouth.
He has to end it with mouth, so it's, he can kill you with a word from his mouth. Like, it's so awkward.
I have a nitpick here.
Yeah.
Just have Black Bolt take her out.
Yeah, don't
like,
tell
what
her.
are we doing with this? Oh my god, he could destroy you. Like, Black Bolt, just get in and like take her out.
Well,
Like,
because he wants to be like, hey man, like we don't want to kill you. Like they don't know that she's super evil because she doesn't. They don't believe Doctor Strange, so they're just gonna be like, hey man, this isn't a good idea. Walk away, and then they get their shit rocked.
Yeah, I think it's the idea of saying
rocked.
Specifically, like, this is how Black Bolt will kill you.
But I
Seems
do
like
love
bad,
when she's.
bad thought.
I do love when she responds, "What mouth?" And then we look over, and Black Bolt doesn't have a mouth. Very good.
Yeah, very fun. And then he yells, and his head explodes. Pretty cool.
He's probably so good at not talking. Like, what is he doing? Like, I don't know, man.
He got scared
Like,
because his mouth was gone.
But like,
He loves that
doesn't
mouth.
like seem like someone who would get so like. He wouldn't get surprised. Like, if you were to tickle him, you wouldn't go like, ha 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 ha. Right? Like, he seems like he probably has like a lot of control for not just letting things, come out of from his vocal cords.
That was a very confident statement. Has DJ tickled Black Bolt before?
I don't know. And lives to tell the tale. I don't buy it.
I'm just saying, like, you think Black Bolt wouldn't be like, because like, let's say his his left hand was missing. He wouldn't go, oh my god, my left hand is missing. So like, if his mouth was gone, he wouldn't be like, oh my god, my mouth is gone. Like, he would just be like, in his head, oh no, I have so much control to not say things because I know the burden of my power.
Yeah, I mean,
oh no.
I guess he knows what horror movies are like, and he's like, oh no, this is a horror movie thing, so I gotta be really worried about this. I don't know, but it's great. This is the moment in the movie where the mom of the kids in front of me noticed that their kids shouldn't be there and took them out of the theater, and it was great.
Whoa, really? Like, in the middle of the thing?
Just for this bit. I think this is where the mom caught on, like, oh, these guys are all gonna die. I probably shouldn't let my kid watch this. And took them out of the theater for like 5 minutes. Yeah, it was great.
And you'll notice MCU, way too woke, both the men die instantly and the women get to have fight scenes.
Oh my god, that is MCU. People that don't know, MCU is the thing that they say on the internet and mean YouTube videos.
Did we not say that during the podcast?
I think we talked about it before the podcast.
Oh, well.
But anyway, it is like, it's the new thing. It's very stupid. It is funny, though, that speaking of the ones that... Well, okay, so Black Bolt's head explodes. Loved it. Falls over. His little tuning fork blinks out. And then Reed goes to grab her, which I think is adorable. Like,
It really is.
he doesn't, like, whip out some fucking gun or some magic, technology nonsense that he has in his back pocket. He, like, just tries to get her. And she unravels him, and it's so good. I
also
really
like what she
that.
says to him, where she's he's like, I understand what it's like. I'm a father too. She's like, is their mother still alive? Yeah. Good. So they'll still have somebody when I kill you.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, cold.
Didn't ask Black Bolt if his mother would. Maybe she really didn't think Black Bolt would kill himself. Maybe it escalated way too quickly for her.
Like I said,
yeah.
Reed is the only one who says he has kids. She doesn't know Black Bolt has kids.
Right, but I'm saying like maybe. Well, yeah, I guess maybe she didn't plan on killing them all, but Black Bolt accidentally killed himself, and everybody went into DEFCON mode. Like, I guess we all have to fight to the death. Also, after Reed Richards gets exploded into little like spaghettis, and I loved it. I was kind of worried that she was just going to spaghetti him, but then she blew him up too, which is great. Do you guys remember the reactions of the other two characters in the room?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it's like Captain Marvel, or not Captain Marvel, Captain Carter, there's too many captains, has a face like, uh-oh, this is bad.
Uh-oh.
Lashana Lynch, Captain Marvel, has a face that is like when Wolverine gets kicked in the balls in X-Men 1, and it's like, uh-oh, you shouldn't have done that to me. Your friends just exploded. This is a big deal. Like, I get that you think you could beat her still, but, like, they're dead. I don't know, man. I think that reaction is insane. Seems like something you'd see in, like professional wrestling. But then they try to fight her by throwing beams of, cosmic bullshit and one shield at her. And she stops the beams of cosmic bullshit and the shield. Shocking. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked how she cut Captain Carter in half. It was exciting.
She said the thing, I can do this all day.
Finally.
That's like the thing.
Finally. Someone said it. Did she say that in her What If as well?
I cannot remember.
Yeah. I was too busy being horrified by every time a character in What If opened their mouth and did some grim simulacrum of speech, as though animated by a blind man who had never seen a mouth move in his entire life.
Well, it is the rules, I guess, now that every time a Captain America comes on screen, they have to say that. Did Falcon say it in his show? Maybe he didn't. I'm sure he will. So she gets killed by being cut in half with the shield. Great. Captain Marvel, the most powerful super being whatever in the whole universe, gets crushed with a big rock.
Yeah.
Well, first she gets thrown into the rock, which kind of dazes her, and then the rock is collapsed on top of her, and then she dies.
Sure. That feels like something that maybe could kill Iron Man, but not her. And I would, I would be convinced.
And then she did it.
Yeah.
She won.
She
Scarlet
gets them
Witch
all.
killed them all.
And then she goes to and then we get the Xavier thing, which I also really liked.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, I thought the first part of the Xavier thing was baffling, where he's in the Illuminati room and he's like, actually, I think we should not kill Doctor Strange. He seems cool. And then he, leaves? Then we cut away from the scene after he says that, and we cut back, and it's just him with Mordo. And it's like, what happened?
I don't know. It is awkward to have a chair that big.
He can read minds. It's like he knows.
Yeah, but like, where'd he go? Did he just, was it like, okay, you two have fun, I'm gonna go check. Yeah,
he said his piece and was like, all right, yeah, but you guys vote, whatever, I got things to do.
Yeah. I liked the Doctor Strange Mordo fight. I thought that was cool.
It was very good.
So it is cool, but it made me think of something. I forget where I saw this, so forgive me, person I'm not crediting. You're probably way more famous than we are, and it doesn't matter. It's weird how in movies now everyone is like a kung fu expert and is just like incredible at hand-to-hand fighting. Especially because the whole thing about Doctor Strange is without magic, his hands are all fucked up.
It's true.
So, I think it would have been way funnier if the two of them don't have magic anymore, and then they're just kind of, like regular
fighting?
chumps.
Yeah.
Not necessarily as bad as slap fighting, but just like clumsy punches and kind of awkward wrestling on the ground and stuff like that.
That would have been funny. He is like a karate master, though, right? Didn't they learn martial arts in his little Incomertage?
I
From
guess,
the unspecified 20 minutes to 8 years that he was there. I think he learned martial arts. I'll say, there's one scene where him and Mordo fight, and Mordo beats him up a little bit, and you're like, oh, these guys are enemies. But it's, like, not really, but also, I don't know, I guess Doctor Strange is just, he's great at everything.
Oh, so great.
But I did like the idea that, I liked that they handcuffed each other. I thought that was cool. It reminded me of the bit in the Oath comic, where
I kind of...
Nicodemus West does the spell that makes magic go away for 3 minutes, and they just have a fist fight. I thought it was cool.
I kind of wish that they had spent more of the fight actually handcuffed together.
Yeah. I do think it was... I think that choreography, action-wise, was solid with that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of camera stuff we haven't really talked about, remember when Doctor Strange fell asleep and the camera went ooh for like...
Oh, yes.
That was
Fun.
That was fun. Also, I don't remember where this was. It might have been here. No, it had to have been earlier. There's a bit where someone explains something to someone else. I want to say it's Wong. There is a crazy crosscut of like 4 things fading in and out of each other. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about? I don't remember when it happens, but it is wild editing. I think it's when they're explaining the new Darkhold, like Mount Wundagore, when he's explaining it to her. Yeah. That's one thing. I'm sure I'll see it again. Like at home, I'll want to see that. But yeah, so Professor X is good now, and then they try to save little America Chavez.
Professor X does a journey to the center of the mind where he tries to save 838 Wanda, but gets his neck snapped for his trouble.
Love that.
Yo, crushed it.
Yeah, I like that they did smoke instead of particle effects. I think smoke is cooler.
Yeah, the smoke looked really cool, especially on the white background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at this point, Wanda had both been... this is where... So she is covered in oil from these Ultron bots, and probably some blood, but I don't think she got any Black Bolt's blood on her, and I don't see who she would get. And this is where she steps on some glass, and it, like, fucks up her foot, so now she's just a zombie. That was fun.
Yeah,
why did they like focus on that? I found that so weird.
Because it's just like I liked the idea of like she doesn't care about this body at all. It's just a means of an end to her, which is a larger metaphor for her. Like, you know, she has no regard for the damage she is doing to this other version of herself through her quest.
Yeah,
you know, it's one of the only metaphors in this movie that I think is completely straightforward and works.
Also, this is where America starts doing kicks that make stars.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
I also just think, like you said, her kind of becoming a zombie as she's chasing them was cool.
Yeah, I think that whole sequence was very fun when they were running away from her in the tunnel and stuff. And I do like. I think
it's when the movies finally started again.
There were a lot of like jump scares and horror stuff that I'm usually not a huge fan of, and like they weren't so bad. But I appreciate. I feel like Sam Raimi. I don't think the Marvel machine crushed him the same way it does other. Like, it feels like he really got to make probably mostly what he wanted.
I feel like he was given a not very good script that he was allowed to do whatever he wanted with. And
that makes sense.
And that's kind of where I am at with the movie, where it's like, I don't really like the script, but all the visual stuff, all the Sam Raimi of it, I love.
Yeah. So they go to the place between dimensions and steal the Book of Vishanti. Cool.
Yes.
So this is where I really felt they had been building up such a thing that I thought we were about to Kung Fu Panda it.
Yes, me too.
And I was so excited for it. So here's
Dragon
the thing.
Scroll.
Yeah. Because
okay.
Because they always, every time they talk about the Book of Ashanti, they always emphasize it gives you whatever you need to win. It gives the sorcerer whatever they need to do the thing they're trying to do. It gives the sorcerer whatever they need. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're building up a very clear contrast here. The Darkhold gives you what you want. The Book of Ashanti gives you what you need. So they're going to get there, and it's going to turn out what he needs is some more metaphysical thing that's not a big spell he can do or a lot of power. And like I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be really cool. I'm excited for that. to happen. It never does.
Because it gets stabbed. That's what happens to books. And it gets broken and shot or something.
We spend so much of the movie looking for the Book of Vishanti, and then it is useless, not for any kind of like thematic or metaphysical or otherwise like emotionally impactful reason, just because Wanda shows up and blows it up with her magic, and then we just don't get to use it, and it never comes up again.
Loved it.
I'm telling you, the books in this, like, all these magical books are flimsy as fuck.
Yeah, they gotta take better care of their stuff.
And if it's... And the thing is, if it's in the space between the universes, that means this is the only Book of Vishanti in existence, right?
I guess so.
No, because they said, like, we had a Book of Vishanti. One of them was like, we got one. No problem.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know, because is this where the first seed takes place? Is the same spot?
I
it
think
seems
so.
like it.
So then it must be the only one, because that's not the same Doctor Strange going to get... Like, it's not the
right, fair.
Doctor Strange from that universe. But then, like, yeah, I guess there is only one of them. But there are multiple Darkholds. And apparently you could just copy the shit. You could take pictures of it with your iPhone, and then you have it now. That's weird.
Which you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, they wrote it before phones. They didn't know. Then what happens? I cannot remember how we get to the next plot point. The third and final universe.
Well, Wanda gets to them and sends Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams, like, to a random dimension.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then she takes America Chavez back to her dimension to get that sweet, sweet power, baby.
Yeah.
I must say, I don't love the tangent that this goes next with, like, the evil Doctor Strange. However, in my opinion, it's like the best fight in the movie.
I was like, we're doing another thematic thing here about the paths Doctor Strange could have taken and how he will not take those paths. And then, again, that doesn't happen. So I was excited for the evil Strange thing, and then it's nothing.
Well, I know. I feel like there's some things here. There's a lot of themes going on. It's about, because I feel like this path, like, there's a couple of, like, a big part of the movie is about, like, Doctor Strange destroying the universes and whatever. And then there's this other, like, kind of through line of Doctor Strange. What does Doctor Strange need to be happy? And what is he willing to give up for that and whatever? So, like, this is, like, worst case scenario Doctor Strange, who is just, like, gonna destroy all the universes he has to get Rachel McAdams back. So I think that is like a dark mirror of Doctor Strange.
I guess my problem with that is that particular character conflict is the more well-realized one, but it's also the one that has nothing to do with anything else that happens in the movie. So it just feels very disconnected.
I guess, like, I think it kind of does, because I think the idea that Doctor Strange needs to use the Darkhold to save America, he does. By using that, he is, like, committing to being, like, corrupted by it, and then not being with Rachel McAdams in the future, or being happy the way he wants to. So I feel like that's a theme that is, like, that they land on.
Then I think it contrasts with his other thing, though, that specific usage of it, because I feel like they were going for a thing where it's like, yeah, all these Doctor Stranges are big shitheads because they think, like, oh man, the thing I need to do is so important, I have to do this evil thing to fix it. And it's like, maybe you're right about the evil thing, but about having to do this, it's the only way to stop it, but you're so cavalier about it. You need to consider the consequences. You need to try to find another way instead of being so convinced you're right that you just dive headfirst into the evil thing. Except then it's not that. It's that he just does the evil thing. And it is the only way. And it's like, well, then the lesson was that he's been right the whole time and people have been wrong for telling him that he's wrong? Like, what are we doing here?
So I feel like the Illuminati lesson might not sync up super well with this, but I do think this Doctor Strange lesson does. Because at the end of the day, the question isn't like, does Doctor Strange use the dark magic? It's like, what does Doctor Strange value enough to use the dark magic for? Because Doctor Strange is always going to be a guy who breaks the rules and, like, does the wrong thing. And this Doctor Strange does it to save the little girl, and that's what matters to him. So I think that is kind of like I think that is thematically sound, especially in this universe. Like, contrasting with this Doctor Strange. It's because it's not about will he break the rules, it's why will he break the rules. Because I guess with the Illuminati Doctor Strange too, you get the idea that like Doctor Strange will do this. Like there is a version of Doctor Strange that has done this before and it worked. So it's almost like, sometimes you can do it. There's just a cost, like you gotta pay the piper. And then you get the first thing with Nicodemus West where he's like, everybody's questioning, like, you make all these hard decisions, but are they the right decisions? And it's like, I don't know, maybe. But by the end, he's like, no, I do make the right decisions. I just gotta, as long as I make it for the right reasons.
So I'm always right. It's I'm the correct one. I must always hold the knife.
Two things about that. One is like I can see that, and I don't even hate that as a thing. But I feel like the movie muddles it a lot. Like it kind of goes back and forth on it in a way that makes it feel very confused. Where I could watch it and be like, this movie is building to a spot where he's not going to do the thing, but then it is where he does the thing, and so it's like the movie's kind of having it both ways. That in a way I don't love. And then also, I'm so tired of the Marvel character plot line of people think I shouldn't do the thing I did, or that I'm wrong for trying to do this thing. And my character arc is realizing that I should keep doing the exact same thing I've always been doing, and I am right. It's like, there's specific ways that can work, but often in these kinds of, basic structure movies, what you do is the character realizes they are wrong about something and grows. And it would be nice if that happened in any of these movies ever.
I mean, I think Doctor Strange has that in the beginning of this movie. Because in the beginning of this movie, he is kind of like... I think one of the things that we saw a little differently is in that first scene with him and Christine at the wedding. I do think he's a little like, you made the wrong choice. Like, you should have been with me. And like, I could still make you happy now. And, just like, that's what I want. And then he goes through the movie and the kind of, it's a Sam Raimi movie. They're all about, like, the Spider-Man movies are all about sacrifice, and are you get a sacrifice what makes you happy to be a superhero. And I think that's what we get here. I think if anything muddles it, it's that I think the decision to have Doctor Strange kill Thanos with the Vishanti book is a little weird. Like, I could see a version of this where the Illuminati killed their Doctor Strange just because he was bad. Like, all of the Thanos stuff was a lie. And, maybe he even aligned with Thanos and they killed him, but they're like, no, we gotta keep the secret safe. Because, like, and setting up a Doctor Strange, or, like, this kind of rule where, like, the Darkhold will break any Doctor Strange. If they use it for the wrong things. But
I think I would have been more okay with it if it was like that, yeah, because that's what I'm saying, where it's like muddled and kind of back and forth, because they treat it as this bad thing, but then he's always using it for good reasons, so it's like, so is it bad on its face, or what? And it's, so like when he uses it, he's just doing the same thing that Doctor Strange from the 838 universe did, where it's like, I have to use this evil thing to try and do a good thing. And it's like, well then, was there not a lesson in that? He just has to be that same guy, except don't destroy a universe this time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't let your Illuminati get you.
It's weird. That's why I say it's muddled, and I don't love it as a through line.
I get that. But that is why I do think this scene, the third universe, the Doctor Strange, I don't even know what we're calling this, the Windy universe, is the one that I think is the most interesting. But
this
it's
is like the Sinister Strange. Is his official
that's
name?
right. But then it's the thing about this too is it's so similar to the What If Doctor Strange, where it's like a Doctor Strange will stop at nothing and destroy everything to save his Christine because that's what he wants, and he's blowing up the whole world. That it's like, we did this already. We even had that scene where Doctor Strange argues with himself about it. So, like, I wonder where What If in this, if at all, coordinated, like, these ideas.
Yeah.
Because I could see What If coming out and then Sam Raimi being like, wait a second, well, you did that? That was, we were making...
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought they were the same person for a second. I'm like, oh, this is like the small collapsing universe or something like that.
Makes sense. Might as well. Like, I guess the collapsing one is good at the end, so it wouldn't work. But yeah do a
right.
WandaVision. Just pretend the end of that show. And the end of that show wasn't very good either, so just pretend it doesn't count. All these Marvel shows are 6 episodes long, and we're gonna ignore whatever's more than 6. They all end at 6 episodes.
Well, listen, there are some things that are beyond the pale for Marvel to acknowledge in their movies, and one of those things is horrendous facial animations.
Oh my gosh.
He
I'll not let this go.
So this Doctor Strange, yeah, he's destroyed the universe, is trying to save a Christine or get a Christine, and he's killed all the Doctor Stranges to do that.
It
right?
sounds like the way he kind of describes it is, he's looking for a version of Strange that is happy with Christine, because I think his Christine died.
Right.
And he's really upset about it. And every time he finds a Strange that isn't happy with Christine, he kills them as like a mercy thing. Like,
right.
Well, if you're not happy, then you shouldn't even be alive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a mercy.
And yeah. And then they fight. That fight is cool.
It's a cool fight. Cool fight.
Yeah. Music note fight.
Interesting.
I love it. It's like one of my favorite fights.
I like that they both were just like, this will be fun. Like, it seems like a thing
Right?
where they were both like, I'm the only other person that knows how to do this, so let's have a little music fight. I always wanted to
It's
do
an
that.
some
improv
fun
scene.
with it.
It's like,
Yeah.
yes and.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like jazz. It's about the notes you don't
is.
shoot at your opponent.
yeah.
Hey.
And then he kills him or something. I can't remember how that guy dies.
He like causes a big magic explosion that blows Sinister Strange out of the building onto a gate spike where he's impaled and dies. Fucking
Love it.
gnarly.
Love it. Yeah, that was cool. So then Christine comes up and they're like, okay, here's the plan. Darkhold, dreamwalk into the zombie one, and then just go from there. See how it works. And while I'm there, you have to defend my corpse from the undead monster people that probably were in a deleted scene or something, because it really seems
hopefully
like
you know
we'd
how to do
explain
that
what
also.
is. And she does. She knows a lot.
Yeah. It turns out hell is real, and if I try to take over a corpse, all the demons in hell will try to eat me. And this is just a thing I know will happen.
Yeah. So let's break this into parts. First of all, what'd you think of Christine fighting the things?
Whatever. It feels like a distraction, but like I don't care.
I was like, oh man, Rachel McAdams really pushed to get to do something, anything in this movie, huh?
Yeah.
I did like, I mean, it's a callback to Doctor Strange 1, because I had watched it the night before. I did like when she blows him up with that little whatever it is, like pot of fire, because when Strange is fighting Caecilius in Doctor Strange 1, when they're in the sanctum, and he's just pulling random shit out, he pulls that pot out and aims it at Caecilius, and then just kind of waits for something to happen. And Caecilius says, "You don't know what this does, do you?" And then they move forward, but she does know what it does. So
shit.
it's a cute little callback.
Good callback.
Yeah, that was fun. And I guess this Christine just like fucked around in the sorcerer or in the Sanctum Sanctorum for a while. I guess it's like a
why
place
not?
you could go. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Might as well.
Have a tour. Just hang out.
yeah. But then we get the big fight, all the finale stuff with Doctor Strange. So first of all, what'd you think of Zombie Strange?
Cool.
Loved that he's a deadite.
Yeah, the face, everything was so fun. And all of his walking was great. All of his weird hand motions. Like this is the thing. This movie felt like, except for John Krasinski, every actor was having a really good time. Like, doing dumb nonsense. And Wanda was having a really good time shooting her stupid beams and stuff. And I could enjoy that.
I feel like Elizabeth Olsen has talked about like wanting to play like Scarlet Witch more like Scarlet Witch, or like less Wanda, more Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a thing that she's wanted and been like pretty public about it.
Yeah, she wanted, like, she's talks about House of M, although I'm always curious with people like that going on interviews and having like the one comic they want to talk about a lot, if that's like Kevin Feige goes like, or Matt Reeves is like, talk about Court of Owls a lot. Let's see if people like that. Let's see if that resonates, or like put that in so it gets into the blogosphere, and then that is what we're gonna do next. But I mean, and also if you're playing Wanda, yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to make the movie where you're the main character and it all revolves around you. Probably get a nice big paycheck out of that. Can't hate on that. But yeah, so Doctor Strange goes to fight her. Wong climbs the mountain, I guess. Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah, I do think my theater, we got a hearty chuckle out of his like, I don't even want to know what's going on with you line.
Good line.
Yeah.
Good delivery too. Mm-hmm. Very, very good stuff.
And and then they fight Wanda and stuff. He uses his Cape of Souls to attack her.
The Cape of Screaming Souls was good.
Yeah, I like that.
I liked everything about the presentation of Undead Strange. It was all very, like, gothic and gnarly and cool.
For sure. And then we get the big finale endy thing. How do our heroes defeat evil Wanda?
Well, they don't, Nando, because they can't defeat her, because she's too strong. So you gotta do the only thing you can do. Remind him that kids fucking suck.
Yeah, show him a universe where she has kids. It's like, look at all this. Look at the macaroni. It's still on the floor. It's disgusting. Why would you bother?
First, DJ, you're forgetting the first part, which is, Wong is like, oh no, she's too powerful. We're going to have to kill America after all.
Oh, right.
And America is like, I'm okay with this now for no reason. We haven't really bonded since about the midway point of the movie because we got distracted with Illuminati bullshit, but now I'm okay with it. But he says instead, like, no, I'm not going to kill you. You can control your powers. You just haven't tried until now. Just do it. just control them. And she's like, you're right. And now she can control her powers.
Power of positive thinking works every time.
Well, even if she can't, it's like her powers are activated by fear. You're not scared of this? Any of this? America, I'm a zombie. So let's go. Any universe. Let's go back to the one that was cartoons. That seems like fun. Seems like the kind of thing that would be fun to check out for more than 5 seconds, but whatever. I guess it's not that scary to her. I don't know, maybe she's seen all the Sam Raimi movies. This doesn't really register. But, yeah.
I guess. But yeah, no, then she is able to punch Wanda back into, I think it's the 838 universe again, right?
I guess so. That fucking poor Wanda in 838, who is now like a war criminal for killing all the Illuminati.
I want to say also, when our Wanda leaves her body to go back to our universe, because she's gotten America Chavez, that Wanda is just like, shows up in the middle of this weird, like, space between universes, all her feet all cut up, covered in oil.
Yeah.
With, and it's just like, my boys, and flies away. Like, not a second of, what the fuck just happened?
Wandas love their boys, okay? It's pretty simple.
They do.
They just love them.
They're moms.
You gotta get those boys.
Listen, I'm not saying she doesn't love her boys. I'm just saying, no matter how much I love my boys, I would take a second to be like, where am I? What the hell just happened? What is going on?
Where are my boys?
Maybe shit like that happens to 834 Wanda all the time. Like, she is constantly waking up from dreams and then, has the skulls of the Guardians of the Galaxy in her hand. So that by, this time, she's just like, oh no, this is probably another baby thing. Because is this Wanda the only one that hasn't had, like, that doesn't have her babies?
It seems many Wandas have their babies.
So we gotta find all the ones that don't and kill them. They're all gonna do this, I assume.
Well, no, they can't anymore, Nando.
That's true.
Because when she realizes what a monster she has become because her boys are scared of her, she not only stops trying to kill America, but destroys the Darkhold in every universe.
Yes.
A thing she can do now, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then
she probably has done it the whole time, but, it's just solidifying it here. And
she destroys the whole big old mountain.
All of Mount Wundagore.
All of it. And she dies. Dead forever.
I mean, we'll see, right?
It's got a 7-year contract they're just not going to do anything with.
Yeah,
Probably
there
never
definitely wasn't a red flash at the end there.
Yeah.
And we definitely explicitly saw her die on screen and not just a distant shot of the mountain collapsing.
That's right. That is what happened. And then Doctor Strange goes back to the Academy thingy, or the Camartage. Our favorite Green Minotaur is back. Wanda's...
It's like, you're alive, thank God.
Yeah, America's training. Cool, I guess.
Mm-hmm. He bows to Wong, which he refused to do before, because I guess learning that he values Wong as a friend was his character arc?
Oh, I thought you go. I thought that was a joke. I thought that was like like Chadwick Boseman, kind of like in Captain America, where like the other Camartage, or not Camartage, was it? Sanctum guys bow to him, and Doctor Strange is like, "Are you really doing the bowing thing?" So that was like, "Oh, my Sorcerer Supreme, thank you so much." That's how I read that. But
possible.
Now they're in love. They could be in love. They're not.
I wouldn't hate that.
Be. Yeah, I don't know what they are. I guess they're just friends. I guess Strange does work for him as like
technically.
Yeah, he's the Sanctum, because like Wong lives in the Sanctum Sanctorum, right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he live in Camartage? That's where the ancient one lived.
Because they are in love.
And they
they
live
live
in New York.
together.
These bodegas. You can't give that up.
Yeah, he can't give up the bodegas. Come on.
And I guess he knows, like, the plot's always in New York, so might as well just live there. So then we get 2 post-credit scenes, you guys.
Yes.
Let's talk about the dumb one first. It's not that dumb. I think it was fine. But the one with that actor that DJ can't quite place.
Charlize Theron?
No, that's the good one.
No, that's the dumb one.
No.
Bruce Campbell's the best one.
Yeah, I agree with DJ here. Also, you're forgetting the very end of the movie where Doctor Strange yells and then he has a really bad-looking third eye in his forehead.
Yeah! We forgot about that. So the third eye seems to be what you get for being evil or doing Darkhold stuff.
Yeah.
Along with little fingernails. Where's Wanda's third eye?
Maybe only if you're a man.
Nice.
The Darkhold is sexist because it's evil.
MCU.
Or that third eye is elsewhere. You know what I mean, fellas?
No, can you explain it to me?
Yeah.
The elbow.
Yeah.
Typically, the third eye shows up on the elbow if you're a woman. So it was probably on Wanda's elbow.
That's probably what it was.
I see.
Yeah, because she did have longer sleeves in this.
Yeah.
Like,
so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But it was on her elbow.
Did like the Scarlet Witch outfit in this, by the way.
I did too.
Fantastic.
I liked how it looked all decayed and not made of plastic. What did you... So, yeah, the third eye. So, I guess that was supposed to be, like, Doctor Strange is a little bit evil now because of the consequences of what his actions. Yeah. I think it's weird that we get a post-credit scene after that day.
Yeah.
Without acknowledging it.
Well, we do acknowledge it because he has the third eye in that scene.
Right, but without acknowledging what it meant or what that even... Like, if he had just had the third eye in that scene, that would have been great. But that little bit where he, like, falls over in New York was very strange.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. Now I get it.
Now the movie's good.
Yeah, okay, so first...
Yeah, no, I don't know why we tease like that. I mean, I guess because it would have been weird if it was just the post-credit scene and his third eye opens up. You'd be like, whoa. We have to be like, oh, it's, Also, that's how you, like, end a horror movie, right?
Yeah,
like,
and that's how you
weird,
end
like,
an Evil Dead movie,
thing.
too, is like the guy that you thought was dead isn't dead, kind of. I forget which one it is, but one of them ends very similarly. So I guess that's what it is. Good. But then, yeah, we had a post-credit scene where he's just in New York, and then Psylocke comes through a portal to the Dark Dimension. And it's not Olivia Munn anymore. It's Charlize Theron, maybe. And
it is Charlize Theron. I really legitimately thought it was Psylocke. It's not.
Me too. I was like, that's Psylocke.
I could see it. The power visualization was very similar to X-Men Apocalypse. And fuck it, why not? We're doing all the other X-Men in this. Why wouldn't they? They should have played that classic X-Men Apocalypse theme when she walked on. Then we don't know for sure.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it is not. It is. She has like a purple eyeliner and big giant. Like shoulder pads. Purple.
Do we know who this is?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's his comic wife, Clea.
I looked it up later, so I knew I was wrong later when I looked it up, but I didn't know it when I watched it.
So it's 2 things for me. First of all, 3, I guess. Yeah. Dark Dimension behind her. She's from there. So that was like kind of a giveaway. Not a giveaway, but that's like one of the signals. B, that hair is just... That wig, one of the wiggiest wigs I've ever seen in one of these. That
even in
white
this
hair.
Movie, full of bad wigs.
Honestly, yeah.
Right.
Her and fucking Dr. West are like, fighting at the wig store over the worst wig, like Dan Flash's. But the third thing is, the comics have really been pushing her. She is currently the Sorcerer Supreme. So yeah, Doctor Strange died, so no more him forever. And the Justice League also died last week forever.
They never come back, ever.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I haven't read it. It might be good. But yeah, so Clea is his wife. She is Dormammu's niece. Her mom is Umar, and I guess that makes her like she's Dormammu's sister.
Umar is Dormammu's sister, and her father is some disciple of Dormammu.
Yes, that's right. And it makes more sense in the comics, because in the comics, like, Dormammu is like a guy. Like, he looks like he's got a head of fire, but he is like about the same size as Doctor Strange. But in this, he is a big giant head of, constantly moving energy. So how that translated to Charlize Theron one generation down the line is a little suspect.
Yeah.
What do you think of her in general? Do you like her as an actor?
Like, yes, I like Charlize Theron. I think she's great.
Charlize Theron was a major part of one of the best movies ever made, so...
Atomic Long shot.
Both correct.
I'm trying to think of another
Sorry.
one.
Isn't she voice acting one of those like animal movies? For 8
For 8, yes. For 9.
and for 9,
And probably
yeah.
for 10. She might even direct it. Who knows? Up in the air. Did they get a director for that yet?
They did.
Yeah.
Who is-
remember, it's
right.
Louis
The guy who...
Leterrier.
Yeah, the guy who I thought was canceled, but apparently isn't. Yeah.
No, everyone's uncanceled. You didn't hear? No one's canceled.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks,
yeah.
Bill Maher.
Yeah. Comedy Album of the Year. Comedy Grammy of the Year for Louis Leterrier. No, he's probably fine. Apparently. Yeah. She's cool. I like her. I think she's probably fine for this role. I feel like Clea could be anything. Like,
I know nothing about this character. The only reason I was able to correct you about some facts there was because I looked up stuff about her after the movie.
So, like, I feel like with her, because Night Nurse is a very recent, like, Christine Palmer is a very recent comic character for, like, Doctor Strange to be paired with. So I feel like Clea is his usual girlfriend, and also she's, like, kind of a little bad, right? So, like, that's kind of what's fun about her. She's like, break the rules, Doctor Strange. And that's a little bit of what they do here at the end with Rachel McAdams from Earth 800, whatever, where she's like, what does she say to him? Do you remember? It's
Don't
like,
be a bad boy.
no, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, don't be scared or something like that. Don't be scared to do things. And then Clea is like, are you scared? And he's like, no. And he opens his third eye and then goes into the portal. So,
Keep your third eye open. Illuminati, 3 eyes. Confirmed.
oh, they are real.
Oh.
So, yeah, that probably won't be the next one. It'll probably be something else. It'll probably be, whatever's
It'll
popular,
probably be-
some sort of
Just
crossover
never
with that.
come up again. Like
Yeah, she'll
Baron
be-
Mordo.
She'll show up
Three-
and then be gone.
Like 7 years later, there will be alternate universe where Clea shows up and Doctor Strange is like, oh, that's my ex-wife. We were married for a little while there, and then she went away.
Yeah. I feel like that is, I mean, they are, like, famously divorced in the comics, so it would be kind of funny if it was just like, oh, yeah, I guess they're divorced by now. Like, kind of like how
Doctor
in
Strange
Civil
does
War...
give me a big divorce guy energy.
Well, he gets divorce guy energy and like single guy energy in the like he's one of the few characters in these who I feel like you could throw into a movie and have him romance, not Captain Marvel, but like someone like that, and I'd buy it. I'd be like, yeah, him and Falcon are the only two I feel like that are left. And you know what? Well, no, not Oscar Isaac, but like, yeah, just someone who like doesn't have a true love, who he has to be in love with forever and ever and ever. Amen. Like someone who is just just casual, keeping it casual.
Keeping it casual.
But yeah, no, she probably won't be in the next one. We have to pretend that we really like her on Twitter and trick Marvel into doing it,
Oh, clever.
We need to start fan campaigns. Hashtag release the Cleaverse or whatever. But then, what's the second post-credit scene?
Bruce Campbell stops beating himself up, and he's like, "It's over!" And then, like, the movie's over. I get it.
Looks directly into the camera when he says it, too. It owns.
Good for him.
Yeah, that scene's much better than the other one, Nando. The other one sucks.
The other one's great. I like her stupid outfit and her bad wig. I thought it was great. And I do like Charlize Theron, but I also don't. Yeah, I don't doubt we'll see her again, but I would be shocked if the next movie picks up from here. But,
We'll see.
yeah, so that's the Multiverse of Madness.
Cool.
2 multiverses, or 2 other universes. 3 if you count the middle part, the space between the universes.
Yeah, huzzah.
So that's like not even as many universes as What If.
Yeah, right.
It's barely more universes than some of these other ones. Like, I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy, do they travel universes? I guess they do their jumps within a universe, but yeah, it's not too many. Not more than Loki.
So far, distant second of multiverse movies this year.
Apparently. I mean, and there's not even a Flash, so it won't be able to be third best. That got delayed. And Spider-Verse, thank God, is not going out this year, so it won't be the worst. Like, it won't be Beyond 2. But still pretty good. I still liked it. I did like it.
I like many things about this movie. I don't hate it.
Yeah, so.
It's good to not hate things.
Next one is Thor. Hooray.
Hooray!
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah. So which means we'll get a teeny tiny bit of Love and Thunder. Like, there will be one Thunder and one Love. Bob Marley, one Love. Yeah, it's going to be great. Do you guys want to get to our classic segment?
Oh,
I
hell
would
yeah.
love that.
Let's do it. DJ, do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
I got a couple things to recommend. So shout out, or I don't know, Ozark season 4 part 2 came out since we last recorded. I watched it. I know I've talked about Ozark before. Overall I am satisfied with how the series ended. You know, is it like a show that you haven't watched? You watch like all 4 seasons? I don't know. If you got like nothing else to watch, I do think the early seasons are stronger than the ending, but like it's a good show. It's a good show, and I thought overall like a pretty good ending. I'd also like to recommend. Have you guys heard of a show called Close Enough? It's an animated show.
It sounds familiar. I don't know what it is. Oh, is that like one of those adults but they curse?
Kinda. So it's it was done by the guy who did Regular Show, and it's on HBO Max.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, so it's like this couple with their kid, and they live with like a divorced couple. It's enjoyable. I think there's like some stuff that Bill Maher would love to see how these millennials are adulting. You know how hard adulting is. But like it's cute and fun, and it's got a lot of levity to it, and I think it's just like kind of very enjoyable. Jason Mantzoukas is in it, and I like love everything Jason Mantzoukas does.
Very funny guy.
He's a very funny guy. He plays the divorcee husband who lives with the married couple. Yeah, it's a good show. Apparently it like really hits home like if you're a parent, because it's got a lot of stuff in it. So I've been told. I'll learn that soon enough. But I've been enjoying that animated show, and it's nice and light. And then the last thing is a video game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is also kind of like a multiverse thing.
Yeah, what's that like? Explain that to me, because I have not played it or seen pictures besides Kirby eats a truck or something.
Yeah, so it's got the typical Kirby game elements where like Kirby eats his foes to like get like different powers, but this one adds like you could absorb like various different things like a car or a traffic cone or a vending machine, and then those give you like various powers based on like that circumstantial thing. I like how they tweak the system where like you could level up your powers and more of like and there's like a hub world that you're kind of like building the town as you're like saving the Waddle Dees. It's got a co-op mode, which is pretty cool. You can play as like one of the Waddle Dees, like following Kirby around, helping like kill the baddies. And yeah, it's like it's challenging but not too challenging. And like I haven't played like a Kirby game in forever. Like the last one I ever remember like really going in was like the Crystal Shards, which came out on like the fucking Nintendo 64. So it's been like 20 years since I like legit played a Kirby game, even more than that, crazily enough. But yeah, I'm like really enjoying this one, and it's very, very fun, I think.
I've heard good things. I have.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah.
Diggins, what about you? You have anything to recommend to the fine people?
Yeah, I just got 2 quick ones here. One, I watched the 2nd season of Russian Doll, which, if you ever watched that first season, it's a fantastic, like very self-contained, short little thing about this Groundhog Day loop that this woman's on, and the kind of spiritual, metaphysical journey she has because of it. It's one of those things that ended it and was like, what a perfect ending. I don't need more of this. And then it was renewed for a 2nd season. But
yeah,
that being said, I think the 2nd season, they did a pretty good job with it. It definitely is not quite as tight or cohesive as season 1. So I wouldn't say it's not quite as good. But I think they really bring it together by the end. It's still pretty funny. Natasha Lyonne is still great at the kind of deadpan zingers and everything. So it's definitely still worth watching. And then also, I watched an old indie movie from the 90s. That's a lesbian rom-com. So
aren't they all?
Very low budget and very indie, because no one with big money wanted to touch it. But it's called Late Bloomers. I watched it actually as part of a film fest that was happening here in the city. It's a very cute movie. I mean, it's A, very indie, and B, it was the first movie that anyone involved with it was making, except I think the actors.
Oh, wow.
So in a lot of ways, it's kind of clunky. I do think it looks really good for how little money they had. They did a really good job with the filming. But, you know, it's a little clunky, it's a little cliche, but I think it's very cute and sweet, and I had a good time with it. And even just as like a kind of film history thing of like being a gay rom-com that was made in the 90s when that was very much a thing people were not doing in mainstream movies. I think it's worth watching. It's actually on Amazon Prime, so very easy to find if you have that. So yeah, it's called Late Bloomers. Make sure it's the 1996 one. There are other movies called Late Bloomers, but this is the one from 1996. What about you, Nando? Do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. I've been, I feel like I've been reading a bunch of comics recently, but one that I feel interested, like I feel like is worth recommending now is I was reading, I'd never read this I didn't read this when it came out. I kind of remember seeing it and not really knowing what it was. And then I've heard people talking about it this week, is the Black Bolt series from 2017 by Saladin Ahmed and Christian Ward. So the idea is Black Bolt is, I don't know exactly what happened before this because I'm not super caught up on Inhumans comics from 5 years ago, but it seems like he's in some sort of prison. I think he is assumed dead, but he is secretly in this prison anyway. I guess probably his brother left him there. And it's like a super prison that he's trying to break out of. And it's really cool. I like the art on this book a lot. It's got a lot of, it doesn't have as many thought bubbles as you'd expect. It's got a lot more narration, and also Black Bolt can talk because he doesn't have his superpowers in the prison. But yeah, I think it's fun. It seems like pretty trippy, and it's a short series. It's only 12 issues. I'm like maybe 4 in, but I'm enjoying that now. And then the other thing I wanted to recommend is a show I just started watching on Habo called The Baby. So this is not about Da Baby. That is a different person. This is something else. It's a show about I don't know what you'd call her, like a very casual, kind of not super committed chef, and all of her friends are having babies. Not all, but 2. The 2 we know. And she feels kind of like, oh God, I'm losing these friends of mine, and they're falling into this baby hole kind of thing. That's a no.
Are you trying to say something, Nando?
Well, I mean, we'll see. You gotta watch the show and not get to fall into the baby hole. But the show itself is about, so this is the setup in the first episode, but then in the end of the first episode, or even before that, because there's only 2 out, a baby falls out of the sky and she catches it, and that baby just kind of gets stuck with her. Like, it's like she keeps trying to get rid of it, but she can't. Like giving it to police and being like, this isn't my baby, and it ends up back there. And also, every time the baby gets left with someone that's not her, they die in some sort of like Rube Goldbergian kind of way. So the baby is evil or something. It's a horror movie about a woman who just doesn't want to have a kid, who is given, not like the kid from hell, because it's not like The Omen where it's like the kid is killing people, and she doesn't really like the kid either. But it's just there, and it's so interesting because babies look so weird when you focus on them and try to like when you have shots where this main character, whose name I can't remember, is like doing, something's going on and she's scared and she like is like, oh my God, did the baby do something? And she looks at the baby and the camera is all like serious and the music is building and you just zoom in on this baby's face. It's like so weird. It's weirdly eerie, and it's the show itself it's pretty funny. So it's 2 episodes out. It's called The Baby. It's on HBO. I am enjoying it. I think we'll see where it goes, but yeah, so far I'm digging it.
I think it's I don't know though, Nando. Do you think a show about a woman being forced to take care of a baby she didn't want to have is relevant to today's times?
I, in fact, would prefer a show where, or maybe a movie, where a woman goes through all of the dimensions just to adopt a child because she wants a child so much. That's really what's important in our society.
Agreed.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it is funny for that reason as well. I didn't even think about that in the context of baby. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. There's a bunch, there are a bunch of things that every so often I'm going like, oh, that's what the show is about. And like, oh, that's what they're getting at. Like with Get Out, kind of, where you're trying to read, like, obviously it's about racism, but like, this is what it's trying to say. With this, I can't quite tell, but there are a couple directions it's gone in. Anyway, it's fun. What are we doing next week, fellas?
Are we actually going to do ambulance?
I don't know. I mean, we are going to be in the same place, which happens to
We're
be
going to see
in the
Jake
law.
Gyllenhaal in an ambulance.
Yeah. So
I think
don't
we
know.
can actually film it live. We can record it live from an ambulance we have stolen with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I mean, we don't have to steal it. If one of our friends, I don't know, has some sort of weird experience with a very, very not that exciting amount of a largely legal drug, maybe we'll just end up in one, you know? And
If
then we'll
somebody
steal
gets
it.
Havana syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. But either way, yeah, I mean, I doubt we'll record a whole episode while we're there, because that would be kind of crazy if we went on a big trip cross country and all sat in a room for 3 hours and recorded a podcast about what's going on outside. But we could do that next. Maybe we'll be so compelled after seeing it to be like, well, actually, I don't know. Are we going to record that before we go to LA?
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe we will. I don't know. So ambulance is on the list definitely as something we're going to do soon. So I don't know. Keep an eye out for that. Anybody have anything to plug? DJ?
Roses and Rejections will be covering The Circle Season 4. Spoiler alert, it hasn't gotten better. Although, other spoiler alert, this actual spoiler relevant to the podcast, and this is like crazy. 2 of the Spice Girls are like involved in it.
Yeah, which like, so they're in one room, right?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. They should have been in separate rooms and not known the other one was going to be in it. And then at one point revealed they were a Spice Girl, and then the other one's like, I'm a Spice Girl, and then everybody would think one of them's lying, and it would be so funny. But
so, check out at Roses and Rejections. So we could talk about that shit.
Cool. Diggins, you got anything to plug?
Just my usuals. I have my newsletter, alittleperspective.substack.com. And
Love the recent issue, man. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I actually genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah, I loved it.
And then I stream sometimes at twitch.tv/thisisanoddname.
Anything else?
Nothing I can talk about yet.
Hell yeah, surprises.
Didn't you put out a video this week?
A video? I did not put out a video.
I thought you were in a video about Hollow Knight. Was that not
Oh, somebody. Oh, yeah. So I did an old podcast episode of the Fun and Games podcast where I talked about Hollow Knight.
Oh,
and somebody's been going through the archives and making videos of those. So somebody made a video of that recently. It's a thing I did before, or the audio is. But yeah, you can check that out if you hate audio only mediums and wanted to see it in video form.
It's cooler than podcasts for sure.
Yeah, podcasts are losers.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a dying industry, for being honest.
Yeah. What about you,
You gotta
Nando?
get into supplements. Nothing too exciting. Videos coming out soon. But I don't know which ones. I mean, I'm probably going to put my Wolverine casting video out soon, but I still got to finish it, so it's not... I'm hoping to get it out before Friday, like before we go on our trip, but who knows? Besides that, I don't think I got anything exciting. So until next week, I've been at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woohoo!
Bye. We love you.